Right, boys. So we'll jump into the Q&A now. For context, put your questions into the chat. Please keep it on the topic of editing, or surrounding topics around editing. For example, in fact, I'm not going to give examples. Like surrounding topics around editing. Don't ask stupid questions. Ask your question properly and format it properly, meaning have it actually be clear. If it's in the most broken English that I do not understand, I will not be answering it as I do not understand it. So please give it like 5 seconds to actually think through how you're going to ask a question. What do you think about the VTubers market scene? They basically content creator and okay. Exhibit A. Format your questions properly, or I'm not going to answer them. We're going to be fucking cutthroat, boys. In today's AI era, how sustainable is a career in video editing? Will AI replace or change motion graphics and editing work in the future? From what we've seen, editors are even more valued now that AI is becoming a thing. Oftentimes, creators will try to use AI in their own content. They'll realize it's a pain in the ass or it looks terrible. And what happens is now they've created even more pain towards the whole editing thing, which means they're even more likely to hire someone. What we found is AI isn't good enough yet to edit full videos or even animate. Instead, it's useful for this one specific type of task. And these are the super boring tasks that no one would ever think of automating. For example, subtitling, being able to automatically fix all the subtitles and be able to fix the capitalization, fix the spelling errors, grammatical errors that Premiere's automatic subtitles doesn't pick up on. It's amazing at that. Things like ideating, it's really good at. Also, on the client side of things, there's something we're building out now. We've got something we call it Layer AI. It's like a AI that we're building out for the coaching program. Essentially, it's trained on every single YouTube video I've ever made. It's trained on every single coaching call, meaning like I've literally taken thousands. Every single coaching call, every single message I've ever sent someone, every single course video, every single SOP, every single document we've made for the program. It's trained on that. And what it does is it basically gives answers directly how I would answer it. So AI has become really good at that. If you can feed it the right information, AI is really bloody powerful. So it's really good now at essentially answering questions as if it's me. I'll give you guys an example if you'd like. Would you guys like me to show you what I've been building from like the AI front? It's like a little chat type thing where it's for the coaching program, but I can show you guys how it works if you'd like. Type one if you want me to show you it, and I'll bring it up. It's essentially like an AI platform that I built. It just helps video editors to get their answers solved from a coaching perspective. Like, hey, how do I improve this edit? How do I solve this client situation, etc. So we'll go to that platform now. In fact, let me see if I might already be up. Yeah, it's nice. Cool. Here we are. So this is the platform. My fat forehead is in the way. 1 second. Oh, I flipped it. I'm a boomer, boys. Give me a second. I'm getting confused between the mouse and the screen recording. Essentially, it's like you've got a platform where, and this is zoomed in stupidly. Give me a second. It's because I'm on my Mac screen. There we are. The composition's good enough. You guys can handle that. Essentially, you can ask it any question, and it's based on all the training I've ever made. For example, coaching calls, course content, Q&As, one-on-one coaching sessions. It's trained on all of it. So let's say like we just take someone's random question. Like I outreach, I get cheap clients, I reject them, and right now I have 0 clients. It's becoming a problem. As I have to pay for things, I'm good at editing. I won't say top notch, but good enough. Cool. Let's essentially put that question into the AI. What it's going to do is it's going to search the database. It has over 4 million data points of things I've actually said, and it'll find the specific things that are relevant to this question, and then it'll create an answer based on that. So what you'll realize is this guy, he literally said he doesn't have a skill problem. For him, he thinks that he's supposed to be rejecting them, and I'll say this for myself, he shouldn't actually be rejecting them. He should be charging just a lot more. So he should be sending more messages. And for the cheap clients, instead of just saying no to them, you should be charging more. Like you should be going for the guys that pay a lot more, but at least you're just raising your rates. So essentially what it does is it gives them more practical steps. For example, let's say from here, it says now you want to outreach, you can find layer content. So now let's say you want to find content on outreach. You basically just say, okay, find me content on Outreach, and it'll go find all the content on Outreach within the editing layer program. For example, let's say this one, you can see it's brought you straight to the Outreach content. So AI has become really good when you give it good training material. It's become really damn good at giving you good answers. So yeah, that's sort of the thing with AI. It's not good enough to edit full videos yet. It's very good at getting rid of the annoying tasks that no one wants to do. For example, like subtitling, like coming up with animation ideas, um, and just getting coaching when you need it. It's become really good at that. Dude, my eyes are like dying. I need to bring up chat on my phone because chat is so small here. It's like low-key killing my neck as well. Cool. Get questions in chat, boys, and we will go through them. There we are. Now I can zoom in. My blind ass can finally see. I'm based in India. How do you edit for international clients? Realize that your country has absolutely nothing to do with the type of clients you get. The only reason being from India would negatively impact the way you're getting clients is because you advertise that you're from India. The funny thing is, there's probably at least one editor that you look up to, and you might actually think he's from the UK or US or Australia or whatever, but he's actually from India, but you just didn't know it because he doesn't actively advertise it. So when editors have this belief that, oh, I'm from this country or I have this level of experience, they have this limiting belief of why they can't get clients in a funny way because they think that's holding them back. They show that off even more to the world and they get that result. So, for example, if you show off that you're from India, yeah, you're going to get bucketed with all the Indian editors, which you don't want to do. Call me racist. It's just what we've seen. So, even within the coaching program, we found there's people that are from India. They market themselves and they put in their bio, like, oh, India, or on their profile picture, it's clear they're from India. And I'm like, dude, you're just not doing yourself any service. Because you could charge the exact same rates and like your entire career can go the same if you just don't actively advertise you're from India and your communication is clear and you speak fluently in English, like you'll be fine. So yeah, don't the thing with getting international clients is the exact same way you would do it if you weren't from India. I have never outreached. I just use Discord for clients. It seems very intimidating. Where would you recommend I start? Basically, any platform where creators exist can work for outreach. YouTube Jobs, Discord, like you found, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Facebook ads, ads library where you see people running ads and you find them there. Anywhere where there are content creators, you can outreach. The thing with outreach is it's not about this method works or doesn't, because fundamentally humans are everywhere, creators are everywhere. You just need to make sure you actually have the three subsystems that actually make outreach effective. Subsystem number one is you need to have a way of turning strangers into leads. Leads is someone you can contact, because if you can't contact someone, you obviously can't close them, which is why we need a way of turning strangers into leads. Now, how do we do that? For example, you pick a platform, let's say Instagram. You need to find a method that you can do at scale of finding creators on Instagram who you can contact. Okay, that's stage one done. We've turned strangers into leads. Stage two is turning those leads who we can contact into interested leads, meaning someone we've contacted that has expressed interest in our services. Because if someone hasn't expressed interest in our services, we can't sell it because they're not interested. So how do we do that? That's through the outreach messaging. So this is where you test different ways of actually messaging a person. In general, keep it concise, keep it intentful, meaning don't say like some huge long message about how you're going to increase their retention. Just say you want to edit for them and go from there. And also make sure you back it up with things that you can actually prove. Don't say you can maximize retention if you don't even know the guy's current retention metric. Don't say you can improve the storytelling if you don't even know what the guy's videos are about. Like, say things that you can actually back up. For example, hey, I noticed you're in X niche. I've worked with a creator in a similar niche to that. That's something you can objectively back up. So with outreach messaging, those are the principles I'm using, and that will help you turn those leads who you can contact into interested leads, meaning generate replies. Now, once you have replies, so interested leads, you need to be able to turn them into clients. Because until someone's actually paid you, they're not actually a client. I'm assuming the point of you outreaching isn't just to send messages to people. The point is to actually get paid. Theoretical work doesn't pay the bills, which is why the last stage is turning interested leads into clients. And this is the negotiation, the sales side of things. So in a very simple way, this is taking them through a very simple sales process, discovering what they need, confirming a fit, pitching the price, receiving payment. You take them through those steps, and once you've received payments, you have closed the person. I see editors all the time where they say, "Oh, I have a client," and I ask them, "How many videos are you doing with them?" "Oh, one a week." "Oh, how many videos have you done so far?" "Oh, they're going to send a video in 3 days from now." Have you guys seen that meme where it's like, who's going to tell him? Like you hold the guy's shoulder and it's like, who's going to tell him? Like that client's not going to send you a video, man. So a client's only yours once you've received payments, and the point of that last stage, interested leads into clients, is to actually receive payment, because until then, the deal can flake. So an outreach system consists of a method for all three of those: stranger to lead, lead to interested lead to closed client. Now notice how this can apply to any platform. People say, "Oh, email doesn't work, Twitter doesn't work. I've tried YouTube jobs, it doesn't work, no one's replying." It's not a problem with the platform, because I promise you, if there's editors who are making those platforms work, it's just that they've dialed all three subsystems in. So if your outreach isn't working, or you haven't outreached before, you just need a way of doing each one of those steps. So that's how I would start outreaching if I haven't done it before. Hi Malice, I just completed my portfolio. Do we really need to make a free sample video for every single DM or email? A bit too time consuming. Great question. It depends how good at editing you already are. If you haven't got solid work already, I would recommend doing re-edits or practice edits to get that proof up already. For example, let's say for me, if you guys look at my portfolio, it's in the description. I have a shit ton of work. Basically, everyone on there is multi-million subscriber channels. If I reach out to you and you need an editor, you would be kind of retarded to come around and say, "I don't think you could do the work," because I just have objective amounts of proof. On the other side, let's say someone doesn't have much proof. If they then say with huge amounts of confidence, "Hey, I can edit this video exactly how you want," it is completely reasonable for the creator to have doubts. For that type of editor, where they don't have the proof needed, they do the re-edits and the free samples. Now, here's the thing. As you get more and more work, you don't need to do the re-edits as much. Here's what I recommend. Let's say you have free time. For example, right now outside of client work, you might have 10 hours a week, 20 hours a week, 30 hours a week. For some of you, it's all your time is free. If you have that free time and you have a lot of it, I would do the more intensive, higher likelihood to get replies type of outreach. So re-edits, Loom videos where you record a video for someone. If you're in a stage where you actually don't need clients and it's more just raising prices type of situation where you're only reaching out so you can just get better and better people, that's where I'd recommend you do the lower effort, just mass outreach. You don't need to do a re-edit. So it just depends how much time do you currently have outside of client work. That's going to change which type of outreach you send and whether you're doing re-edits. Because you're totally right, it is time consuming. If you're not using that time for actual client work already, I mean, yeah, it's time consuming, but it's the highest leverage task. Hey bro, how do you feel about outreaching to people whose editing is already good, but your level? My thinking is maybe they need a second editor or the editor's giving them problems. 100%, the biggest psyop that editors have been sold is that, "Oh, someone has an editor, therefore I can't work with them." It's stupid. Because who would you rather work with? Someone who doesn't have an editor, or someone who already has all the systems in place and they've had an editor, meaning they want to post more content, meaning they've given enough work to that editor, and they already have a proven process in place? Would you rather, like, for example, I have a coaching program, the editing layer. Imagine I had the belief that, oh, people won't want to join the editing layer because there's already other editors inside. The fact that we're already helping a ton of video editors makes you feel more confident in the editing layer and our coaching program, because you know you're not a guinea pig. So when you're looking at a client, the fact that they have clients already is a good thing. It's showing life. Like if you were a fish and you're looking at two ponds, one pond has no fish there and the other pond is thriving with life, which one do you feel more confident to jump in? The pond with all the fish inside. Because the pond without fish clearly has something wrong with it. So reach out to people who have editors because they're usually the best clients. How necessary would you say it is to build an attractive Twitter profile? Isn't a portfolio website with a Discord and some socials with no following for messaging enough? Absolutely not. Your Twitter profile and any social is your portfolio to the portfolio. It works as a funnel. It's not like your portfolio just exists, because without people going onto the portfolio, it doesn't actually do anything. Now, most people don't actually have data or tracking or analytics on their portfolio, so they have no idea how many people are viewing their portfolio a month. So most editors are absolutely clueless on how much traffic they're actually driving to their portfolio. But if you looked at it, it's probably much less than you think. So how do we increase traffic? Well, it's not through fixing the portfolio, it's by fixing the things that lead to the portfolio. And here's what's interesting. By you framing the portfolio better, meaning whatever's in front of the portfolio and leading to the portfolio, you improve that. For example, your Twitter, your Instagram, whatever you're leading people from, the better that is, the better your portfolio actually looks, even if you don't change anything. For example, let's say you have two stores. Both stores sell the same apples, but one store looks absolutely fucked up and the other store has a beautiful storefront, a beautiful sign advertising their apples. If you bought an apple from both places and you knew which apple was from where, you would just feel like the apple from the nicer store tasted better, even though they feel like the same apple. They did this experiment with wines as well. They had the same wine, just priced at different amounts. The people who paid more for the wine, and the wine was in a nicer bottle, felt like the wine tasted better. Not because the wine was different, but because of how it was framed. So by fixing your Twitter, by fixing your socials, you actually make your portfolio and work look better because people trust you more. They've come in with a better frame. Do you have a team or something? I want to join you and learn from you. Surely going to be an asset. We have a team on the coaching side. We have a team with the YouTube side, like with editors and stuff. We also have a ton of clients, like editors that we help on a student basis. So that's the editing layer. If you want to see stuff on the coaching side, just go in the description. There'll be a CTA somewhere saying, hey, if you want help with editing. I actually don't even know if I put the CTA in. I kind of just went live because I had some free time. Let's see. Yeah, so if you click the second link, that is the coaching program if you want to see that. Cool. Hey Malice, what would you suggest someone who has just started editing? Get 4 good videos at least onto your portfolio. Build your social profile, meaning you set it up, link it to your portfolio. Once you have at least 4 good videos, start sending outreach to get your first few clients. Once you have your first few clients, you then use that to get more clients. How do you do that? You post it on your socials, so as previews where you cut up the edits and make it look cool. And you also update your portfolio with that better work. And it becomes this beautiful cycle where you get clients to create good work and you use that good work to get more clients. And you just keep getting more clients and keep raising prices, and it becomes this nice cycle where you just make more and more. How can you be more creative when editing? Most of the time I feel stuck because I just don't know what to put on screen. There are 2 parts of being creative. In fact, before we get into that, you have to realize that creativity is not a trait, it's a skill. For example, the most creative editors you know, they did not come out of their mother's womb knowing how to create good edits. So between the time of them becoming a great editor and them being in their mother's womb, at some point between there, they have learned how to become creative, meaning creativity is a skill. So let's actually talk about how to learn creativity. Creativity can be broken down into 2 parts. You have divergent thinking, convergent thinking. Creativity is your ability. Let's define terms. Creativity is your ability to create new and useful outputs from previous inputs. For example, let's say I have this remote control and I have this storage device. These are 2 separate items. For me to be creative, it's like, how can I create a new output from these 2 inputs? Okay, I could think of something like a remote control that also serves as a storage device. Or I could have a storage device where in order for me to unlock it, it's like locked data, it's all encrypted. And to unlock it, I have to use a remote control. Like I'm creating new ideas based on 2 old ideas. That is creativity. And the better you're able to come up with new and useful ideas from previous inputs, the better you are at creativity. So that process of coming up with new ideas can be broken down into 2 parts. Divergent thinking, meaning like you think of crazier and crazier ideas. For example, in my head, when I was thinking of merging these 2 ideas together, there were 100 little ideas that I thought of, and I allowed myself to think of them. 99% of them were stupid ideas. Like, what if we had a flying remote where it flew into a storage center and then the storage center broke or like exploded? I don't fucking know. That sounds awfully like 9/11. Probably shouldn't have made that reference. But like, there's all these stupid ideas that could have come out, but I allowed myself to think of them. Then, when you have like 100 stupid ideas in your head, so you divergently thought to come up with those ideas, then you merge the best ones together to come up with the best ideas. So that's convergent thinking. So let me actually show you guys an example of this, because we have this within the actual editing lab program. So we do this. I'll show you guys our lesson on creativity. I believe it was Visual Foundations, Creativity. Cool. You guys can see this? Type 1 if you guys can see the lesson in the background. Type 2 if you can't. 1 if you can see the lesson, type 2 if you cannot. Okay, perfect. Cool. Fishy boys. So, for example, you have 2 inputs, and the ability to be creative is come up with a new and useful idea from previous inputs. A real editing example is you have all of these inputs. For example, let's say you're editing a scene. This was a scene for the Sidemen, one of my clients, a 20 million subscriber channel. There was a scene where the guy is looking at me like this. He's saying, "We're Italian, no pineapple on the pizza." Essentially, they walked into a pizza store. The challenge was they had to get a pineapple pizza. And the guy was like, no pineapple on the pizza, we're Italian. So for me to create an animation for that scene, I have all of these inputs. I have the original clip, and from the script, I have Italy, so I could have the Italian flag. No pineapple on the pizza. I remember a meme that I saw 10 years ago about no pineapple. And there's edits that I've done in the past. That's also an input that I've had. So I merged all of these together and created this scene. And what you'll realize is every single scene ever made has gone through that process. It's just a mix of every single input you've ever had, videos you've watched, edits you've seen, projects you've edited, feedback you've taken, feedback you've given, networks you've been in, conversations you've had, books you've read, all the stimulus you've ever been exposed to determines your creativity. So how do we improve our creativity skill? We just need to have better inputs, because with the right inputs, you can have better outputs. So most editors, the reason they can't create creative ideas or they just suck at editing is they haven't been exposed enough to what good or creative actually looks like. So how can we fix that? We literally just expose you to better edits, and we are more intentional with actually consuming them, because quality inputs, quality outputs. I'm not going to go through the rest of the lesson, but fundamentally, like, that's how you be more creative. You need to realize that, first of all, it's a skill. Second of all, it all comes down to your inputs. And third of all, you need to have that divergent. So thinking of crazy ideas, allowing yourself to make mistakes. And then from those crazy ideas, you find a 2 or 3 and you mix them together to create something good. Hey Malice, I'm editing a Roblox video and some parts feel boring. How do you make slower sections entertaining without losing this challenge/story context? So this is more a storytelling question. I like to see storytelling as 3 simple rules. People overcomplicate the hell out of this. This is what's actually worked for me. Step 1 of storytelling: make it make sense. You don't need to worry about these crazy story arcs, because most editors leave in shit that literally doesn't make sense. They don't even check the audio or check the video before they work on animations to see if there's random lines that just could be removed or cut out because the sentence didn't end fully. Like they'll just leave, like, you know how a sentence has multiple phrases? They'll just cut in the middle of a phrase and the sentence was never finished. So first of all, fix that. Like make it actually make sense. Another example of making it make sense. Let's say the guy says, "Hey, we're about to go to the park," and the next scene, he's taking a piss in the toilet. Like logically, that doesn't make sense. Like what happened? You know what I mean? Or like you're listening to it, and the guy explains something, and then the next clip completely contradicts it. Like you need to cut things out so that the actual thing that's being said to the viewer, like imagine a viewer is actually taking this information in, it actually makes sense to them. That's step number one of good storytelling. It makes sense. Step number two is murder your darlings. Meaning, sometimes you have clips that make sense in the video and they work. But it's having the creative discipline to actually remove some clips so that the ones that you leave in are even stronger. For example, if you have two jokes or two like funny things that the creator said next to each other, by you having both the jokes in, the first one might be funny, but the second one isn't as funny because you've already had that emotion present of like it was funny. For example, when you're setting up a joke, you're setting up the joke, you hit the punchline, and then it's funny because there was a big change. Like there was a big change between the setup and payoff. But if you add one more line where they continued on the joke, it's like, dude, we fucking get it. It's good. So by taking out the second line, you actually make the first line funnier. And in the case where someone said two jokes in a row, two jokes very close to each other, you can actually remove either one of them. It doesn't matter which one you remove. But by removing one of them, you make the other one funnier because when things are scarce, they're inherently more valuable. Like people notice the joke because there was only one joke in there. So remove lines where if the video makes sense, we remove it. So that's the second part of storytelling. And the third part is similar to what we said before, setups and payoffs. Understand that the way you keep retention is by just holding something back from the viewer. When you look at a title and thumbnail, there are natural questions that come up. For example, let's say we're watching a Ryan Trahan video, and the title is like, you know, let's work through one together, boys. Ryan Trahan. Cool. Let's go on Ryan's video. Super famous guy. Cool. Let's say the video of the longest bus ride. I always use this one as an example because it's just perfect. Okay, the longest bus ride in America. What questions come up in your mind when you hear that title? How long is the bus ride? Where is it from and to? Those are the questions that come up in your mind when you read that. Now let's listen to the video.
There is a bus ticket that takes you all the way from New York to Los Angeles. One ride, 3,000 miles.
Paid off the title. Where is it from and to? He explained it. And how long is it? Okay, so now there's no more curiosity for the viewer unless he sets up stakes, unless he tells us why the next bit is important. So now there's no curiosity, so we need to actually build up those stakes again.
1,000 miles. It takes days, and those people say they wouldn't wish this trip on their worst enemy.
There, we have now set up stakes. Most people say they wouldn't wish it on their worst enemies. So now what questions come up for the viewer? Why would they not wish it on their worst enemy? What's so bad about it? Surely it can't be that bad. Like there's all these questions that have come up.
Citing delays, lost luggage, no sleep, and dangerous.
So now we're just building up more and more tension. Like, is this what you're gonna go through?
Interactions.
So now we've made the big setup for the video. So now we actually want to know what his experience is like because we've set up the scary thing. Like, oh, is this gonna happen to Ryan? And now what you'll realize is after we go through it.
Like, I looked at the route and it looks beautiful. If the reviews are true, this is a terrible idea. But there's only one way to find out. Let's get on that bus.
Cool. So huge setup, huge tension. Curiosity is up here. And now we can slow it down because we have we have the viewer on a chokehold. Because now they can't stop watching until they know whether that actually happened to Ryan or not. So now we can slow it down.
That was me. I made that noise. I didn't know how else to.
You see? And if we stay in a slow pace for too long, the viewer's still going to get bored. They're going to forget why they even stayed in the video. So we have a big setup at the beginning, big payoff at the end. But even during the video, you're going to notice these little stakes being made and these little payoffs. It's little setups, little payoffs, little setup, little payoff. Every sort of typically like every 30 seconds to couple minutes, because that's how you keep viewers engaged. So those are the 3 ways that I'm thinking about storytelling. The last one is a bit more advanced, but once you've gotten the first 2, I'd recommend starting to look at videos, noticing the setups and payoffs that are being made. Cool. Did that make sense for you guys? Let me bring up the YouTube so I can see the comments. Cool. Perfect. Where do you find practice footage for storytelling for something like this? You don't find practice footage for storytelling. Storytelling isn't on certain videos. Everything in life is a story. The fact that I am on this live right now, there's a story behind that. And I said it at the beginning. Hey, I hope editors make more money because I've made money in the past with editing before. I had some extra time and that's why we're on call right now. So there's a story behind that. Any video has a storyline. It's your job as an editor to extract the best parts and make it as easily digestible and engaging for the viewer as possible. But in terms of where to find practice footage, it's the same as like, where do you find any practice footage? If you have client work, you do it on client work. If you haven't got client work, but you got a trial, you do the trial. If you haven't got a trial, then you do re-edits. However, how to jump from CapCut to Premiere Pro? I have more than 2 years experience and I'm also level 2 Fiverr seller, and my niche is YouTube content like gaming, reactions, vlogs, and faceless. Just edit on Premiere Pro. Get Premiere Pro, edit on it. Super simple. Do you plan that you'll make a certain amount of money a month from editing and reject work after that? Or do you just accept everything that your heart says yes to? It's a personal question where you have to decide what's actually important to you. For me personally, I love making money. I'll keep it 100% with you. A lot of people will tell you like, oh, I love it for the art of editing, or I don't care about making money. Here's the thing, I fucking love editing. I also really like making money. And I don't see that as a bad thing. Like you can have both. You can love editing and want to make a lot of money. So for me personally, I will sometimes take on work where it might not be something I'm 100% passionate about. But the business side of me acquiring that client and being able to raise prices and being able to leverage them and being able to get consistent work from them and being able to automate it so I maximize my hourly rate, like be able to do all of those things with that client makes me passionate about it, even if I'm not passionate about the content. So me personally, I will try my best to make as much fucking money as possible because I love the game. And a lot of the editors I coach, they have a similar mindset. Yes, they love the editing. And they also love making money from it. And they understand that, hey, sometimes you're going to take on a project that you're not 100% enjoying. And that's okay. Because once you use that client to get more clients and get more clients, and you're hitting 8, 9, 10K a month, now you have options to only take on clients that you actually enjoy. But the thing is, if you want to only take on clients you enjoy, you'll never get them if you try doing that from day one. So, yeah. Starting to get into gaming editing, but I'm finding it hard to find people to do free work for. How can I build up a portfolio relatively quickly in this case? If you don't have client work, this is the hierarchy you use. I call it the work hierarchy. If you have client videos, you do the client videos, stop doing practice edits. The client work is the practice. If you don't have client work at any one time, then you do trials. Trials are where a creator, you've spoken to them to start working together, but you haven't managed to close for the full video up front. So what you do is you try to close for part of the video. You say, hey, totally get it. How about this? Let's do just 5 minutes of the video. We'll do it at a subsidized rate, like a smaller rate. And if you hate it, we just won't work together. I'll even refund the amount. If we do, we'll move on with the full video. So that's a trial. If you have trials, you do that and you practice on those because those will look better on your portfolio than a random practice edit. And then if you don't have trials or client work, that's when you do something called v-edits. V-edits is where you take a video currently on YouTube, you download it using a tool like 4K video downloader or whatever, and then you bring that back into your editing software and you add animations on top to make it yours. Because what you can do is then show that work to get actual clients. Now, here's the thing, the worst thing you could do is do practice animations where you just take a random clip and just do whatever the fuck you feel like. Because it might feel cool for you as an editor, but when a creator sees that you're just doing practice animations, it's like, dude, this guy has nothing to work on. He's just doing practice animations. It's probably a reason why he has no clients. So the reason we work in this work hierarchy is because we're trying to make the closest approximation to what we actually want, which is client work, because that's the order which will get you client work the fastest. Client work is obviously client work. Trials are more likely to get you client work, and v-edits are the next closest thing to get you client work. And because v-edits are permissionless, meaning you don't actually need permission to do a v-edit, that means you can do them whenever you want. What are your thoughts on football editing niche, like IRL, news, and gaming? I mean, okay. So what are your thoughts on the football editing niche, like IRL, news, and gaming? Yeah, I see what you're saying. So even within football, there's going to be different niches within football. Like within football, you've got the IRL type of football. For the football news, you've got football, like FIFA, gaming. I've seen editors make money in all of them. What you'll realize about niching is every niche makes money. It's just that you got to work with the best people within any domain, within any niche. For example, just with the ones you mentioned, IRL football, Ludwig, a guy that we took to 7K a month just within IRL football. Gaming football, I believe Omar did it with gaming football creators, and they did a mix between IRL and gaming. Football news, we had a guy, I believe it was Ala or it was someone else. They got to around 6K a month with football news. I don't think it was Ala, it was someone else. But it's like I've seen editors do well with all of these niches. It's more about the client acquisition side than what niche do you pick. Like if you can get clients, you can fund and make as much as you want in any niche. There's some exceptions. Like if you're doing Fortnite montages, you probably won't. Saying that from experience. I used to edit Fortnite montages. I was working like every day of my life. I didn't make more than like $800 a month. That shit was rough. I just made my portfolio with v-edits. Can I link it for you to rate and tell me if it's good enough? I don't do portfolio reviews here. In the coaching program, the editing layer, that is where we do portfolio reviews once a week. Bro, I'm a beginner in freelance editing, never closed any clients, but I'm upgrading my skills in editing like animation. And all I've learned things like SaaS, but I don't know how to close clients and where to find them. Super simple. You need better work to show off, meaning do the edits of full length videos and put them on a portfolio. Once you have 4 to 8 good videos, you start outreaching. With that outreach, you're going to get a couple clients. With those clients, you need to treat those clients really bloody well, not because you're a great person, which you might be, who knows. You might also be an asshole, but it doesn't matter for client acquisition. You need to do really well on those videos because it's going to allow you to post good videos and have a higher outreach conversion rate because your portfolio is better too. So by over delivering on these videos, everything else becomes easier and it becomes this cycle where you get more and more clients. But step one, if you're a super beginner, get 4 to 8 full length videos that you've re-edited. What's the best? That was the weirdest lisp. I felt like Mike Tyson there. What's the best method to get more regular clients? Right now, I get almost every client from X inbounds. Fundamentally, there's only 2 ways you get clients. You go to them and they come to you. You go to them is outreach. They come to you is inbounds, meaning like referrals, coming from content, etc. Both outreach and inbound systems work. In fact, they rely on each other. Because when you outreach, you will get clients more reliably and more faster, meaning you have more work to edit and post. So by outreaching, you get more clients, meaning you can post and get more inbounds. And by you focusing on your inbound systems, meaning setting up your page properly, doing the correct posts, make sure you're managing your socials properly, your outreach actually converts better as well because you have your pages set up correctly. So it's not about like do I what do I choose, inbound or outreach? You do both because they actually make each other more effective. So if you're just doing inbound systems now, like you're just getting X inbounds, you would be surprised how that actually gets better when you outreach. Because you'll outreach, you'll get clients, you'll do well with those videos, and that'll give you more things to post to get more inbounds. So focus on both inbounds and outreach. What do you think about posting on Instagram? I've gotten and get all my clients through X. Should I even post stuff on my IG to build a personal brand? If X is working, you do more of that. We follow this process called more, better, new. So this is the order in which you try things. If you want to grow, the first question is, can we do more of what's already working? If you're finding X is already working, why not just do more of that? Like if you have a button where every time you click it, you make $100, why the fuck would you look for another button if you can just keep clicking this button? Like, if this button stops working, then you can look, but until then, you keep clicking that button. So if X is working, you do more. If doing more isn't working, then you do better. Can we make the thing we're already doing better? Can we optimize the post that we're making? Can we post in a way where it's actually more optimized for getting inbounds, not just getting likes? And if we're doing more and better, then we can think about new methods. In my life, I have never seen one editor who has had to try a new platform because they've already done as much as they physically can and it's as good as they can. And they hit their editing goals with one platform. So if X is working for you, brother, do more of that. And if I would say the same thing if IG was working for you. If IG is working for you, I'm not gonna pipe my horn and say go on X. I'm gonna say do more Instagram. Oh, not getting inbounds and outreach on X is pretty much a waste of time. Instead, posting, hiring posts for just views and engagement, not actually hiring. What should you do? Yeah, it's just part of the game, man. Like you could say, oh, there's people who are doing it for engagement, so I'm not going to outreach. Okay. Or you could just outreach, and 1 in 10 posts might be an engagement bait, but you've still got 9 out of 10 outreach. Let's say you have a 20% reply rate, you're getting about 2 replies. Let's say you have a pitch rate of about 50%, you're now getting one person. So within about 20 messages, you're getting a client. Who gives a fuck if you're reaching out to some people who are engagement baiting? If your overall metrics are showing that you make more money when you do a certain thing, who gives a fuck? Like someone's engagement baiting. You make more money when you do it. Just look at your metrics. It's about work-life balance. Fuck no. Work-life balance is the shit I see poor people say. Truthfully, I've never seen one person in my life where they say work-life balance and they're actually doing something reasonable with their lives. Like I look up to the work they do. The problem with work-life balance is like it's just cope for procrastinating, in my opinion. It's just cope for not doing what you can do. Is life important? Yes. I think it's less about work-life balance. It's more work-life separation. Like I still care about my life. I go to a gym. I like to be social, have a relationship. I care about my life. But it's less about balancing the things. It's more about can I separate them as much as possible. So for example, I'm not going to be in the gym trying to get work done. I'm not going to be sitting here watching a YouTube video in the gym about the gym. So it's about having separation, not balancing them, because balancing just gets you neither domain will get the results that you want if you try balancing, but you can get the results you want by separating. But as soon as you start posting on X, no, but as soon as something gets posted on X, there's hundreds of people already replying and DMing. Yeah, I mean, if you go to the like if you go to the easiest to find outreach places to outreach, you're gonna find everyone's going there. You know what I mean? Like if you go to the gym that is in the center of the city and is the easiest to get into and the cheapest to get into and the easiest to find, you're going to find there's more people there. You got to find other methods than just X. I'm assuming you're using like X search or something. We found X search, like just there's just like context within the program that we teach in. Obviously, we find like every 3 to 6 months, editing systems change and outreach systems change, like what you have to do to that works. X search used to crush, like crush, about 2 3 years ago. Just last like year and a half, we haven't really relied on it as much. It's just everyone does it, so it's like we'll still get editors to use X search, but as methods are way more productive now. X search is just way too competitive. Hey Malice, just finished exams and got back to editing today. Welcome back, my G. Welcome to the dark side. Guide me to grow my Minecraft channel. This isn't about growing as a YouTuber. Can't give you advice there, my G. We help video editors around here. Do you think it's better to work with long form content in general, or does it just depend on the editor's personal preference? There are overall 2 editors I've seen in my entire life that have made more than 10K a month with short form. I just don't see it reliably happening. I have genuinely seen probably around like 2 to 300 that have hit 5 to 10K a month in long form reliably. I'm going to be biased because I edit a lot of long form and I enjoy long form. I'm also going to be biased because in our coaching program, we recommend people to edit long form and our systems are optimized for long form creators. So I'm going to be biased, but it's because I've seen long form more reliably work to help editors earn more on scale. So, my opinion, go for long form. If you end up getting a short form creator, sure, but I would prioritize long form. The problem with trying to optimize for both, where you try to get both, is short form creators don't want to work with you because they think you're a generalist and they want someone who specializes in short form. But if you try optimizing for both, you also don't attract the long form creators because they want someone who specifically is great at long form. So I would try specifically go for one of them. And then if you end up getting the other one, fair enough, but optimize for one of them. How do you transition over to After Effects from Premiere Pro? I can't seem to. I do most of my work in Premiere Pro. I use AI quite a bit now for like animations and just like creating stuff. After Effects, I know the dead basics. That's a lie. I don't know the dead basics even. I just know how to use dynamic link and follow a tutorial. The thing is, I will only use After Effects when I actually need it. Most of my work I do in Premiere Pro because what you'll realize is the software doesn't matter. It's more about can you create well-designed scenes and create simple animations on those well-designed scenes. Sort of like a cupcake. With a cupcake, there's 2 parts. You have the actual like cake part, then you have the icing. If you have a nice cupcake and like a nice icing, it's a nice cupcake. Everyone's happy. If you have a cupcake with no icing, you can still enjoy a cupcake with no icing. If you have a rotten cupcake with icing, the icing doesn't solve it. So it's sort of like the cupcake, the cake is your design, the icing is the animations. You can have a well designed animation or a well designed scene that has little to no animations and it's still fine. But if you have a rotten cupcake, so a bad design in a scene, no amount of icing will fix that. So when it comes to like, should I go into After Effects, whatever, it doesn't matter if you don't have the design principles in place. Composition, depth, things like that, sizing, making sure spaces are like correct, you implementing hierarchy, all of these design principles, that's what actually matters. I promise you, I could create most of my work in any software. I don't care if it's in DaVinci, I don't care if it's in CapCut, I don't care if it's in Google Slides. I could make a genuinely decent video in Google Slides, and I wholeheartedly believe it. It's like the software doesn't fucking matter. You can still make good scenes anywhere. It's more about the design principles. How do you utilize AI in your work? Go check out the previous video. I just made a video about AI. A cupcake with no frosting is a muffin. A muffin. I never knew that. You learn something new every day. Where can I find the best stock images and videos? I just use Google. There's no specific like place I get stock images or videos. I use Google a ton. There's an extension that I would recommend you get. It's called Copy Pasta. It's completely free. I don't earn anything from me telling you this. Copy Pasta saves me hours every single week. What it does is instead of having to save an image and then upload it, you can just copy and paste directly into your software. So useful. So I'll use Google a lot for that. I'm using AI image gen and video gen a lot more now, because you just get what you need a lot quicker. So my first place to look for stock assets will always be Google. And then if I can't find it, then I'll go over to AI. How many outreach do I need to do for 2 clients closing? If I get mostly other editors as followers, is that good or bad? Is there any method to show my videos to a client's page? I didn't understand the last question, but I will do the other 2 one at a time. How many outreaches do I need to do to close 2 clients? It just depends on your metrics. So there's three major metrics that you need to look at. You have your reply rate, your positive reply rate. That means when you reach out to a person, what's the percentage of people that actually reply? Then you have your pitch rate. How many of these conversations get to the point of you saying your price? And then you have your close rate. From the people that you send your price to, how many of them do you get to actually pay? You look at these metrics because by looking at all of them, you have an overall close rate. Now, that overall close rate for every editor, it's going to be different. Just from our golden outreach system, this is the outreach system we get the guys in the editing layer to run. The golden outreach system we've found has about a 2.5 to 3% overall close rate, meaning you send 100 messages, on average, you get 3 clients. Now, that's overscale. That's after testing literally like 3 to 4,000 outreach messages. We found on average, people send 100 messages, get about 3 clients out the other end, which by the way, is very good. For most editors, they send like 3, 4, 500 outreach and they'll get like 1 client that promised to work and never actually sent a video. It's fucked. But when you have an outreach system that actually works, like typically you can have, we've seen it come as high as 8%, but typically it's 2.5 to 3 from what we've seen. What's your process for finding setups and payoffs while editing? You literally just listen to the video. Like at what points are we building tension and the viewer is going to be thinking of what's next? And the payoff is when is that curiosity relieved? Like when is that thing being explained? For example, if I say, I'm so shit at jokes, but imagine a joke. You know, with jokes, you have setups and payoffs like, oh, why did the chicken cross the road? That's the setup. And now you're waiting for me to answer it. I don't know the joke. So imagine I made a funny line at the end to cross the other side. That's the payoff. So every single joke you'll realize has those 2 parts. The setup, which is building up tension, and then the payoff is the funny line at the end. And as soon as the payoff's been done, there's no more curiosity. We need to set up the next joke. If you watch comedians like Jimmy Carr or other comedians, you'll realize this a lot. Watch one of their shows. They're building up tension for the joke. The funny thing happens and they go to the next joke straight away because that's the moment that people would get bored when there's no tension. So they, as soon as they pay something off, they build tension again. What do you do if one of your leads say they'll hire you later when they need an editor? The worst thing you could do is say, okay, I'll be waiting for your response or some bullshit like that. Realize that when someone doesn't want to pay you straight away, it's just an objection. I'll hire you later, or cool, I'll send you a video next week. People see that as a win. But then they're confused next week when they haven't sent a video. It's because you didn't handle the objection when it came up. So whenever someone is saying they'll pay next week, I'll usually try to get payment sorted up front. The reason being, if they aren't going to do payment up front, it's very likely that when next week comes around, they're not actually going to send a video. And I would rather find that out now rather than me find out next week when they were supposed to send it. So I always like to get payment up front because it exposes the objection. It brings the objection to surface and then I can handle it. How do you manage your DMs getting blocked if you send too much outreach? I send like 11 DMs using outreach tracker and follow ups. I always get a 12-hour cooldown. You need to ramp it up. So you don't just from day one start sending like 20 outreach a day or like 50 outreach a day, whatever. You need to ramp it up. So day one, you send 1 per hour. Day two, you can send up to 2 per hour. Three, you send up to 3 per hour, all the way up to 20 per hour. Twitter technically has a 500 cold DM messages per day limit. You're never going to want to get to that 500 limit. Most likely you won't, but you also kind of don't want to. But we ramp up the Twitter messages. So starting from 1 a day, so 1 per hour each day on the first day, and then 2 per hour max, 3 per hour max, 4 per hour max, all the way up to 20 per hour max. Are you in a penthouse? I'm in Morocco right now. It was such a last minute trip. Like I literally booked it the night off. Like I booked it at like 1 a.m. and then my flight was at 11. Morocco's cool though. I wonder if we have any Moroccans here. Any Moroccans here, boys? I'm in Casablanca right now. It's actually beautiful. It's mad cheap as well. Like we got this place. I think it's like 700 a month. No, 700 a week. Like 700 in pounds. So like a grand a week, 4K. But it's nice. Yo, Geo Visuals. I appreciate the donation, my G. People are using your pack and reselling them. I have proof and account names. They even got me contact you on Twitter. I appreciate you, man. I'm not too fussed about packs getting leaked. I don't make much money. Well, it makes sales, but I don't care about the money from it. Like realistically, the money that comes from the packs is just it just goes to the team. But I appreciate you, man. I'll check out the message you sent on Twitter. You look like you have a BMW. Nah, we rocking the Audi, my boys. Do you guys want to see the car? I'll show you guys the car that I got. This car has a. I had wanted it for so long, but I put it off so I could focus on my editing career because I knew as soon as I buy the car, I know I'm gonna like lose the motivation to thrive in my editing career. So I put this off for like 2-3 years because I told myself I'll only hit it when I have my first six-figure year. Um, Let me find it though for you guys. How can I like edit the? I want to hide the number plate. Fuck, how do I do this? It's a bit of a shit picture, but look at my baby, boys. Wait, I don't want to leak my stuff. There we are. That's my baby. Cheeky little convertible, boys. Feels cool as fuck inside. Looks nice in the sun as well. Pretty nice. Love the little bastard. And the best part is, boys, I purposely got one. I think it's called a saloon, like the ones with like the shape like this. I purposely got that. Do you know why? You guys are gonna love this. Whenever I need to work on the go, like let's say I'm traveling somewhere, there's like a video I need to do, and it's like super last minute. All we do is we can use it as a standing desk, boys. So this is me in a car park, and like I had to finish something really quickly, so I just like used it as a desk. I love it. Love my car, boys. So not a BMW, it's an Audi A3 Cabriolet, boys. Guy can't even play music. For context, boys, like Danny's one of my mates. Danny's a good friend. We've known each other for like 5, 6. Danny, how long have we known each other? Like 6 years? I think 2020, right? I think it was 2020. Like me and Danny have been boys for a while. Danny, I call him sometimes when I'm driving, and instead of having music on, Danny sings for me, guys. Fucking goated radio. 6 years, OG man. Love you, Danny. W Danny boys in chat. W Danny boys. I need to write it as well. W Danny. Everyone type W Danny in chat, or you'll be exiled from the Malice cult. W Danny, or you get exiled. Cool. Since I haven't landed any clients yet, can I just use my own edited gameplay videos for my portfolio? You can use your own videos if you've edited them well. If you've edited them really shit, I would re-edit videos similar to creators that you want to work with. So, who do you want to work with? Find their channel or similar channels in a similar niche or style, and then take their videos, download it, and just re-edit them. Then show that work off, because you're going to attract more clients like the type of work you show off. So that's how I would get started. How should I do outreach? I've tried cold emails, DMs, re-editing messages. I've never seen someone re-edit messages as an outreach tactic. Okay, even providing value, they almost never get seen. Pick one platform, keep the message concise, send 200 to 300, doing 2 to 3 like at least 3 follow-ups with each message. See what your reply rate is, then you can adjust. Because I'm assuming you say my messages never get seen. I bet if I asked you what's your positive reply rate, meaning how many people actually reply to you, you could not give me an actual number. You would guess. And we can't fix the system if we don't have the data. By the way, first link in the description should be an outreach tracker. It's the same tracker we use for all the guys in the coaching program. It's how we actually fix people's outreach, because without data, you cannot fix outreach. You can't get more replies if you don't know how many replies you're getting. Because the thing is, you might run your outreach system, whatever you're currently doing, get the data and realize, wait, I'm getting a 10% reply rate. This is fine. My problem is I'm not pitching enough. The problem is too many people are saying yes to my prices, meaning I need to charge more. Like, you can find the problems once you have the data. And that outreach tracker, it's completely free. You can get in the description. You literally just give me your email and I'll send it over to you. And it means that you can actually get the data in order to know what to improve. There's also a free training included with the outreach tracker once you sign up for it in the description. It'll just teach you how to take the data down, how to track it, and also what to change depending on what's going wrong. So if you feel like you've tried all these methods, everything you've listed, except the re-editing my messages, I've never seen someone re-edit messages as an outreach method. Most of what you mentioned, like, we have guys crushing it with that method. So email, DMs on multiple platforms, providing value up front. We've seen all of the methods crush. But sometimes people don't crush it on their first couple of weeks. Sometimes it takes like a month for us to take the data down, then make adjustments, and then they do well. But you need the data at first, so go get the tracker. Kind of hungry. Might order some food. How are you guys finding this, by the way? W stream or L stream? Can we get a W stream in the chat? Or an L stream if you hate me. Who knows? You guys finding this nice? Got a stream on your homepage. Let's go. Blessed by the YouTube gods. By the way, if you guys haven't got it already, I would highly recommend get the outreach tracker in the description. Like, I say this genuinely because whether you pay me or not, like, you need to know your outreach metrics. If you are going to get my paid help, like, you're going to go through one of my programs or you're going to apply for coaching, I'm going to want to see your outreach data. So that would help a ton. If you're not going to get my paid help, that's completely fine. At least when you're trying to solve it on your own, you need to know what your metrics are. So that's why I made the outreach tracker for free. Please get in the description. Like, it will make you so much more money. Comes with free training as well, like on outreach. Got 2 clients right now at $150 per video to up my income. Do I increase price or take on another client? It depends how full you are with videos. We call this the AFIR framework, AFIR. There's 4 stages to raising prices. Acquire, meaning you need to get clients, which you've done. Awesome. Then you need to fill. You need to get to the point where you actually acquire more clients than you can handle. So even when you're busy, you keep outreaching, keep doing the inputs for your inbound systems. You need to have more work than you can take on. Because once you've filled, you identify the lowest paid clients. These are typically going to be two types of people. It's going to be current clients who are paying little for the amount of work that's being done, and new clients that are obviously paying you nothing. And for those people, you're going to move on to the last step, which is raise. You're going to raise for only those clients. If someone's consistent and the pay to effort ratio is good, why the fuck would you raise? Don't raise it for someone who's giving you a consistent amount of money. You don't raise it with a client that you're making money from. You raise it for people who are paying you like shit, and you have other people paying you better, and for new people. Now here's the thing: a lot of editors let their ego get in the way, where they say, "Oh, this guy's paying me like shit. I need to raise for him," but it's their only client. The thing is, if you didn't have him, you're making zero. So you might think he's paying you like shit, but in reality, he's actually your highest paid client. That might suck to hear, because it might hurt your ego to think, oh, I'm only charging like $100 a video, $200 a video. It feels low paid, but the truth is, it's actually your highest paid client. So we got to treat him like it. So follow those 4 steps. Acquire, so keep getting more clients until you're full. So fill. Then identify the lowest leverage clients, so the people who are paying the least per amount of effort you have to put into the videos. Then raise just for them. And I always say raise by a good amount. Don't raise it by like 5, 10, 20, 30%. I call those bitch raises, because if you're feeling, let's say you're charging $150 per video, you raise it to $200 per video, it's basically the same fucking amount. If you're doing weekly videos, you've made $200 extra per month while doing weekly videos. Well done. That's the bitch raise. If you're gonna risk the client relationship, which you are by raising the price, at least make it worth it. Because if you felt underpaid at 150, you're gonna feel underpaid at 200. So I recommend like go for doubles, triples. Because if you're raising at the right time, meaning you have extra work, you've filled past capacity, if you get a yes at a crazy price, awesome, you get your highest paid client. If you raise your price and they say no, well, you are full anyways and you have other clients. So raise your prices by be a bit ballsy with it. You know what I mean? Don't raise by a bitch amount. How do you make money? You're not editing anymore, right? I still edit for clients here and there whenever I feel like it. Right now I'm more on the coaching side, where essentially we have like a paid program, the editing layer. We make editors a lot more money. We teach them how to get clients, teach them how to scale, provide coaching, provide like all the services and everything they need to actually be able to get clients consistently, handle those clients and get the videos done quickly, and more importantly, like scale. So provide the actual training, which we update every 3 to 6 months, just so that they have what's working today. And also the coaching side, which is, hey, like whenever you have a problem, instead of having to try solve it on your own, where by the time you solve it, you've lost the client, instead run it through us, jump on a call with me, and we'll just solve it so you can actually close the client. That's how we get such good results. So we have that coaching program. We don't take a commission from them. We just charge up front. That we've been running for like 3 years now, and yeah, we get good ass results. Like we were the OG in this space. Like within the editing coaching space, we were the OG. In fact, all the guys that are coaching now were basically in the lair, which is funny. Some of them, I helped them launch their coaching program, because it's like we got them to like 10K a month plus. Helped them launch their coaching program. So yeah, we're like the OG editing layer editing program. Oh, you're saying to raise? Your accent is killing me. I'm sorry, man. I may be in Morocco, but still from the UK. Can you do more editing tutorials? I don't think editing tutorials serve people. So you learn like one effect, but you're never going to use that in a client video. And the thing is, you probably don't even have client videos to use the effect on. I'd rather help you get the clients you need so you actually have real practice work. That's why I don't make many editing tutorials, because I don't actually believe it helps editors. It gets a ton of views, but it's not actually going to help you scale. share some secret about editing you've never shared to anyone? I mean, nothing comes to mind, but I will say, like, within the editing layer program, that's like fucking everything. Basically, anything that is to do with editing that I know is in the editing layer program. For example, like with the editing systems, we recently rebuilt it. It's the actual editing part of editing, meaning how do you edit? Everything from coming up with the ideas to cutting faster to automating sections of it to shortcuts to automations like macros and being able to automate video delivery, being able to like have better compositions, being able to minimize revision rounds through psychology, like all of these little things. That took me 6 months to build out. I locked myself in my apartment for 6 months to build that. I literally didn't stop working on that editing program until there was no stone left unturned. I literally, before I recorded it, obviously I spent like 5.5 months of it were basically me building it, and then like 2 weeks for like 12 hours a day I was recording it. Um, the only point I started recording it was when I looked at the program and I was like, I physically couldn't make this better. Like, if I tried, I couldn't teach you more. I couldn't make it simpler. Like, this is as simple and as thorough as it could be. And that's when I made that's like my standard for when I make an editing course or program. So in terms of like, oh, what's a secret I've never shared? I mean, I share fucking everything inside the program. The YouTube gets like 10% of the source. What do you think about Finzar? Great dude. Watched him a ton when I started editing. Great dude. We've been on calls and stuff. But like one call. Great dude. Nothing bad to say about him. Crushes it with content too. Pick up Finzar. How many times do you press Control S while working? Brother, like I'll be not even editing and I'll click Control S. Like it's just muscle memory. It's like I've got Tourette's. I just randomly. What's the best portfolio website? I used to recommend Card. Now I actually recommend using a slightly different workflow when making an editing portfolio. With how good AI is right now, Claude Code or similar, an AI that can make a website so much better. All you do is you give it a prompt, and we have a prompt inside the layer like where we show people. But essentially, you create the portfolio using AI, then you export that as a HTML file, meaning like all of it is contained within one file. Then you host that on something like Netlify or Vercel, any free hosting platform. Usually these places they have a quite a generous free plan. Once you got it hosted, you just connect a custom domain, buy it from GoDaddy, buy it from Namecheap, whatever. Buy a custom domain, hook it up, it costs you $10 a year. Now you've got a great portfolio. So yeah, we vibe code. I recommend now vibe coding portfolios and hosting it on something like Netlify or Vercel. I'm from Cameroon in Africa. I started YouTube 1 year ago. I do everything myself from scripting to editing. Can you give me some advice? This is more for editors. I know a lot of editors start off as YouTubers. Um, I'm going to be biased here, but if you like the editing side, move over to editing. I'm pretty sure like every great video editor I know is just a failed YouTuber at heart. And we all just have like the YouTuber arc where we wanted to be a YouTuber as a kid, try making YouTube content, obviously editing your own videos. Then you realize that wait, I can edit for other people. Oh fuck, I can make money from this. Oh wait, I'm making more than I normally would in any normal job. Wait, I can actually scale this crap, okay? And then you come all the way down the other end and you become a YouTuber once you hit like 10, 20K a month. Like another guy, like a guy, his name's Daniel. I remember when he joined the the editing layer program. I think he was making like 1 or 2K a month pretty inconsistently. He was in Roblox, like the Roblox niche. We got him to 8K a month within the Roblox niche. So like Roblox videos. He's at 8K a month, hit consistently, and he told me from the beginning, dude, the only reason I want to edit and I'm in this program, I want to just stack up cash. Like I want to make money. And also I want to learn what it takes to become a good YouTuber. So the only reason I want to work with Roblox clients is because I want to be able to make Roblox videos that perform. Um, Once we got him to that sort of like 8K a month plus, he made his own channel. I believe it's called. I think you just if you just search like Woozy, it'll come up, or Woozer, like WOOZER. You'll probably find it. Like from his first video, he blew up because everything he learned about editing, he just applied to his own channel, and he's crushing it. Interview or podcast? I don't really do interviews or podcasts, man. Um, I might do it. You can reach out. Um, but yeah, like it's more a focused thing. What payment processor do you recommend? Because PayPal is just fucking me with the USD to Euro conversion fees and normal fees. The best setup that I've found is for me personally and what I recommend. You have direct bank transfer and Stripe. So direct bank transfer, if they're in the same country, I'll typically do direct bank transfer because there's very little to no fees. For example, if I'm ever working with a UK client, I'm from the UK, I have a UK bank account and a UK business bank account. For them to transfer it to me, we neither of us lose any money. If someone's outside the country, I'll use Stripe. Stripe, they can use their normal credit or debit card. And within Stripe, I create 3 accounts. Well, not 3 accounts, three like balances. I have a GBP, like Great British Pound. I have a USD balance and a Euro balance. Each of those connect into their own bank account. GBP one goes into my UK bank account. The USD and the Euro bank accounts go into another bank that I have that can hold foreign currencies. The reason I do this is because by not having to convert from, let's say the client's paying me in USD to GBP, I lose in conversion fees. And then GBP, let's say I want to pay someone in USD and I have to pay it again. So what I do is I just hold the money in whatever currency that they paid me in, and then I'll hold that money. And if I ever need that money, like I'll convert it. Because what will happen is, let's say I need to make a payment for someone and it's in euros, I'll just pay them from the euro account. I need to pay something in GBP, I'll pay it from the GBP account. USD, I'll pay from the USD account, etc. So that's how I've gotten around a lot of fees. If I knew this from before, honestly, I probably would have saved like 10 to 30K. I would have been 10 to $30,000 richer over the last few years if I just didn't have those extra fees. Did your parents or family ever try to stop you from editing? If so, how did you get through it? My parents hated me editing. I was always quite academic as a kid. I would get good grades, and I'm Asian, so they wanted me to go university, all that good stuff. And pretty much as a kid, I was destined to go university and study whatever. It was around college time, so I'm 17 years old, and I realized like, wait, kind of good at this editing thing. And I started making money already from it. I was making a couple K a month. And it was right about the time where people were applying to universities that I realized that as I was talking to more people, nobody actually wants to go uni. Like everyone's just going because that's what they're supposed to do. But when I asked myself, like truly, would I want to go if I had no consequences of not going? I actually don't want to go. But then no one wants to go. So why is everyone going? And it's just because they aren't willing to take the risk in case it goes wrong. But to me, like logically, it made sense not to go. Because here's the thing, there's 4 outcomes. Let's say your parents want you to go uni and you'd rather do editing. There's only four outcomes. Outcome number one is you listen to them, you go uni, and your career gets fucked. In that case, you will blame them because you feel like it was their fault. So you're just poor, broke, and annoyed at your parents. So that's what happens if you listen to them and it doesn't work. Let's say you listen to them, you go uni, you get a normal job, and it goes well for you. So like life actually does go well. Well then you don't actually feel like you earned that because it's not in the thing that you wanted to do. So you're probably still kind of broke because you're working a normal job, and you're not even feeling like you actually did something you're passionate about. You hate your job. So that's if it goes well and you listen to your parents. Let's say you don't listen to your parents and it goes well. It's gone well, so who cares? Once you're making money, your parents will be fine with it. But let's say you don't listen to your parents. Sorry, you don't listen to your parents and it doesn't go well. At least now you can blame yourself. Like, let's say your parents said to go uni, which it was for me. I didn't go uni and I tried to edit and I went broke and I fucked it all up. At least I know I failed because I made the decision and I can fix that. I don't hate my parents because they didn't do this to me. So we can still have a good relationship and I can still build my editing career. Because, yeah. So, like, in my head, it was like every logical situation, it just makes sense for me to not go. Because if I listen to them and I do well, like, I get a normal job and I become successful in my own job, whatever, I'm going to hate the career. If I if I listen to them and I don't do well, I'm going to hate them. If I don't listen to them and I do well, then awesome, everything's fine. If I don't listen to them and I don't do well, at least I can blame myself so I don't hate them. So if I listen to them, it's bad no matter what, whether it works or not. If I don't listen to them, it's better. So I'm just not going to go uni. So I just decided like I'm not going to go university. My parents hated me for it. In fact, I was willing to get disowned. In my head, when I mentally thought through this, I was like, wait, they genuinely do not like this decision. And in my head, I was mentally prepared. Like, there's a small chance they'd disown me, and like they wouldn't let me in the house. In my head, I genuinely would rather me try editing, go homeless for a bit, go on some like sleep on a friend's couch for a few months, few years while I make it work. I would rather do that than have the constant question in my mind of what if it worked. Because let's say I listen to my parents just because, oh, they're my parents. Yeah, I have to go uni. The thing is, even if I do well, I'm always gonna have the question of what if. Like, what if I just made the editing thing work? You know what I mean? And I couldn't live with that. I would literally, I don't say this as a joke. I would rather die. Like, I would have rather died than not know if I could have made this thing work. So in my head, it was literally just the pros outweighed the cons, and I was willing to take the risk. When posting my work on X, does my location have influence on who sees my post? If yes, what can I do to get an English audience? Yes, partly, but that's not going to be the bottleneck for you. If you show your location, yes, you will have the negative branding effects of whatever country you put in. If you want to get an English audience, just post what English editors would post. Am I from Bangladesh? Yes. Now stop spamming. Like, born and raised in the UK, but parents are Bengali. Chloe, such a nice man. Why did you not scale to an agency and sticking with info? You're not scaling past 100 members. Um, Truthfully, it's we've been raising price with the editing layer to keep less people in. Because what I'm realizing is I would rather have less editors that I help, but each editor gets a better result. For example, like we used to be cheap as shit. We were like $300 a month, which it doesn't sound cheap to most people, but like compared to like how much money we make them, like we on average make people like an extra 4 to 5K a month after a couple of months. Like 300 a month is fucking nothing. The thing is, we were getting so many people coming in the program where they weren't really invested into it. They would try it out for a month, and it was just the shittest people. Um, like I didn't like dealing with it because the problem with having like a cheap pricing. So, for example, like when the layer used to be like $300 a month. The problem with it is you get guys that want to try it out for a month. And you just can't get results if you try something out for a month. You're once foot in, once foot out. Imagine when you're getting married, you're like, let's try it out for a month. How do you think that marriage is going to go? But now that we charge a lot more, like with multiple thousands of dollars to join, um, first of all, the type of person that joins, they're a lot more committed. Meaning, like they've actually, because they spent more money with us, they've actually like mentally committed more. Also, it gives us more money to spend on them. For example, we buy a ton of AI tools. We buy a ton of we invest a ton into research so that we can find the best methods possible. The only reason we're able to do that is because we get them to pay us more. So that means that they get better results as well. Because we're able to find the new methods faster than anyone else because we have the money to do so, we can find the methods that work, meaning we get the editors to run it, meaning they make an extra 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,000 a month by paying a little bit more. Now here's the thing: where does it make sense for you to spend right now? The editing there's $4,000. Does it make sense for you to spend $4,000 if, on average, we make an editor an extra 3K in the first month? That's on average, by the way. There's editors that make more, editors that make less, but on average, the typical editor that goes for the program makes an extra 3K in their first month. Within 2 months, it pays off. So it's like we get ridiculously much better results now that we charge more for the editing layer. No broke people allowed. Exactly, man. Now, but jokes aside, like what I say is take value from the free content, boys. Like my free stuff is made just for you to get your first few clients in. Um, Either if you have another job where you can invest into your career so you can move your editing career faster, then the editing layer is great for you. If you just have some extra money where you're like, fuck, I don't want to spend 6 months figuring this client thing out for myself, then the editing layer is for you. There's a call booking thing below. We're still going to check whether you're a fit. Like, for example, if let's say you come into us, and we've had this before, you come into the call where we're basically going to see if you're a good fit, and you're like, hey, I'm super new to editing. I've got like the 4K ready to spend. We've literally turned people down saying, like, dude, you're not going to get results with the program. I would rather you go through this 4 hour smooth editing course on YouTube and then come back in like 6 months. We've actually had people like that and they're crushing it right now. But like what the strategy call is for is let's actually see what we teach in the lab, does it actually fit with your current situation? For a lot of editors, it does. If you're watching me, it probably does because you resonate with what I'm saying. But the call is just to see if you're a fit. If you're a fit, we'll give you the offer to join. Once you're in, we'll onboard you, get you running our client systems because they fucking crush, and you'll get access to all the updated ones as well. So as things change, you'll be able to actually implement what's working. You also have all the calls, coaching calls, which means whenever you have a problem that comes up or a situation, instead of you learning the lesson after you've made a mistake, for example, you're in a client conversation, you try something out and it just doesn't work. Instead of you learning the lesson after you've lost a client, learn the lesson before it. Learn how to outreach, learn how to negotiate, learn the sales, run the question through us first so you can learn it before you go and mess it up. Does that make sense? Who's a fit for your program? There's typically going to be two types of people that are a good fit for the program. The type of guy where they're already good at editing, but it's just a client problem where it's like, hey, I know how to edit. I'm decent enough to get client work, but it's like I'm not getting enough clients. The clients I'm getting aren't paying enough. They're not consistent, so my income kind of goes up and down. They tend to do really well. So guys who are good at editing, it's just a problem with getting clients. Yes, we'll focus on the editing part as well, but you need to have a decent level where we can feel confident that when we get you the client, you can deliver. The second type of person is someone who's in another job. For example, they're working part-time or full-time. They have the base level of editing skills and they just want to quit their job in order to go full-time with editing. What we found is typically it takes 2.5 months for us to match and surpass someone's normal income. Meaning, let's say someone's making 3K a month from their normal job, it takes on average 2.5 months for us to make at least 3K or more from editing so they can actually quit. What we recommend is if you're in a normal job, we call it this match and surpass model. So don't just quit your job out of nowhere. That's fucking stupid. Like you need money to live in today's world, and you need money to invest in yourself. Like if you don't have a job and you're not making money from editing, what the fuck are you doing? Get at least get a normal job. You know what I mean? But for the guys that are in a normal job and they want to do it through editing, what we tell them is keep your normal job for now. Let's just get you clients as quickly as possible. Let's match it. Let's surpass it, get slightly further. And once you solidified it for 2, 3 months, then we'll make the transition and help you quit. Quit after you've matched and surpassed it for 2 or 3 months. Does that make sense? Should I post my work on X? I barely make 1K a month. Need some. You say outbounds. I'm assuming you mean inbounds. Yeah, post on X. Do outreach. Like they're your fundamental inputs. It's like you asking me, should you edit videos? Like if you want to, it's like you asking, oh, should I open my editing software to edit this video? Should I outreach to clients if I want to get clients? Should I post my work if I want to get people coming should I post my work if I want people to see my work and reach out? Like, best for your website to build a professional portfolio. We covered this earlier. I use Claude Code to use AI to vibe code the website, the portfolio, and I use something like Netlify or Vercel to host the website. Then I'll hook in a custom domain to actually just make it look a lot more professional. What's your opinions on agencies? For some reason, all my inbounds and agencies. I think agencies are fine as long as you hold them to the same standard as you would a normal client. All money spends the same. Everybody's money is green. It's like if you're paying me $500 a video for this level of video and you're an independent creator, I don't give a fuck if you're an agency. If you're paying me $500 a video for that level of editing, it literally doesn't matter. I used to feel a lot stronger against agencies. My opinions have changed. So you're good. Like if the agency is at the right price, with the right expectations, with the right level of work, if you would have taken them on if you're if they were independent creator, if you would have taken them on, and if anything, agencies can give a lot more consistent work too. Isn't Cloudflare better than Netlify? All of them work. Like whatever you're at right now in terms of income wise versus whatever your income goal is, I promise you the constraint is not whether you're using Cloudflare or Netlify or what you're hosting your portfolio on. That's not the constraint. There's bigger things to focus on. What's the most you made in a month from editing? Like 12, 13K-ish. See, is my OBS still working? Yeah, we good. How can I get less clients? Hacko. Boys, Hacko was in the editing layer. I made a video inspired by Hacko actually recently. It's the video like do this if you need an editing client in 48 hours. Hacko's in the editing layer. Hello, Hacko. Hacko, how are you finding the lair, man? Give us a public review. You're allowed to talk shit about us. You're allowed to say good things about us. But how are you finding the lair, bro? You've been in for a couple months, I believe. Actually, no, I think more than a couple months now. Hacko, let's get a public review, my G. You're gonna put me on blast. Basic Carl, what's your opinion on retainers versus flat rates per video? It's sort of like dating a girl. You wouldn't go on a first date and right before the first date and you guys meet, you're like, by the way, are you expecting to get married in the next like month? Like you wouldn't talk about marriage before you've had your first date. I like to see retainers versus flat rates in a similar way. When you're working with a creator for the first time, you're just dating. Like you're not getting married yet. And you wouldn't plan out the next 6 months of dates. You would just go on date one, and if you guys like each other, you go on date two. And if you like each other, you go on date three. 6 months into the relationship, that's when you can say, oh, let's meet up 3 times a week. But you don't do that from day one. In the same way, from day one, if you just pitch, let's do a retainer, the guy doesn't even know if he likes your work yet. So do per video. Once you guys understand each other's consistency and each other's processes, that is when you would pitch a retainer. So flat rate first, retainer if you'd like. Yeah, Sarge, you're getting timed out, my G. Boys, El Sod. Everyone type El Sod in chat for spamming. El Sod, boys. El Sod. We have hit him with the, not the ban hammer, the timeout hammer. Bang. Hako, saying it's the best investment you can do in your life is not enough credit for the lair. Love you, bro. W Hako. Yeah, Hako, you've been crushing it with the lair, man. I'm glad you took the jump. Like I remember when you jumped on that initial strategy session and you were like considering whether you should join or not. Um, yeah, dude, I know you had some problems with like getting clients and stuff. I'm proud of you for taking the leap. Like, yeah, you're crushing it now. You're saying not enough credit for the lair, but the thing is, man, like you made the decision to join. You made the decision to follow the process. You made the decision where you jumped on the coaching calls. You made a decision where you implemented the advice. Like I remember there was a time where you told me like you took a break, you lost your clients. I gave you that tactical piece of advice where I told you like, hey, do this message. You'll get a client in the next couple of days. You did it, and the next call you were like, I've got the clients I need. So it's because of you. Like you take the action on the advice. Like remember that. What do you teach or do exactly in the lair? Do you give them clients or something? Yeah, so basically what we do is we realize there's three parts that you need to scale as a video editor. You need to be able to get clients, because if you can't get clients, nothing else moves. If you want to improve your editing, you can't because you don't have client work to do. If you want to make more, you can't because you don't have clients. If you want to charge more, you can't because you don't have clients. So we first of all help you get clients. Then we hope you actually deliver for them. So that's the actual editing side. So this is where we have our editing systems, where we show you the actual styles, the techniques, and we have the feedback calls as well, where we give you direct feedback on your editing. Then we have the workflow side. So this is the actual speed and getting faster at editing. So you can actually get these videos done as quickly as possible and scale. And wrapping all of these three pillars together is the actual coaching. So being able to jump on call whenever you have a problem, you have the community of other editors that are in the lair, and you can just ask anything you need to be able to solve your problem before it becomes a problem. So you're in a client conversation, run it through us, close the client. You're not sure what your next steps are to scale, run it through us, we'll give you the next steps. You just lost a client, run it through us, we'll help you get a client as quickly as possible. Like we give you whatever it takes in order for you to scale, we'll do for you because I know how much it's changed my life to be able to make more as an editor and be able to be more consistent. We've done it for over 300 editors now where we've helped them scale, especially like on Twitter. Like if you look at some of the bigger editors on Twitter, we've likely already coached them. And the reason they're the biggest on Twitter is because we coached them to build their brand and help them out. So yeah, like the layer works. It's really fucking good. I'm in the need work to need portfolio loop, need help. Yeah, just do some V-edits, man. Um, do like 4 to 8 good V-edits where you download a creator's work, you edit it yourself, and then you use that as the proof. You re-edit full videos because nobody wants to see a 20-30 second practice edit. So you re-edit the full video at first, and you use that to put on your portfolio and get more clients. How much should I charge per video? I edit in the gaming niche right now, asking for 100 per video. Don't know how much to ask. As much as you fucking can until you get no yeses. Like people ask like how much should I charge? It doesn't matter, dude. Like you just charge as much as you can as long as the metrics say you're getting clients. This is why having your outreach data is so important. Because if I tell you charge $100 and you're getting 5 clients for every 10 outreach, you're underpriced. You should charge like 2, 3, 400. You know what I mean? Like there's no right answer. It's just send outreach messages to a point where you can close clients and you keep edging up the price to the point where you're getting absolutely no yeses, and it's like you need more clients to actually fill in the people who are churning out. So you just send a lot of messages, see what your pitch to close rate is. So how many people are saying yes to your price? Typically, we've seen anywhere from like 10 to 20% being the sweet spot. So when you give your prices, 9 out of 10 people should be saying no. That's how you know you're well priced. 9 out of 10 people should be saying no. 1 out of 10 people should be saying yes to your prices. That's how you know you're charging enough. Can I link a video I edited to see if I could develop a career in editing? We don't do editing reviews here. That's for the coaching program. Da-da-da. What do you post on Twitter exactly? I'm in the filmmaking and animation niche. When it comes to what should I post, the very simple question you ask yourself is what would a potential client want to see for them to trust me? That would be your work. That would be proof that you're doing it for others. That can take multiple forms. It could be a testimonial. It could be a screenshot of the analytics. It could be a screenshot of the video on YouTube. It could be the timeline. It could be a few frames from the video you're editing. You just want to show as much proof that you're actually doing it with other people. That's what's going to get you more clients. Because people want to work with people that already have other people working for them. You don't want to go to this. No one wants to go to the surgeon who's operating with their first surgery on them. They want to go to the surgeon that's had other surgeries and is actively busy. So you want to show that you're busy. You want to show that you're with other clients. You want to show that you're a good editor and you're actually editing. And that's anything that encompasses that is what you can post. What would be the best way to get to 1,000 a month, starting all over again? Get one client. Anything under 2 to 5K, like anything under like 5K a month is 1 to 3 clients. Like people overcomplicate this shit. Like, dude, you're not trying to become a fucking millionaire through editing. Like, you're trying to stack a few $100,000 through something you love. Like, it's not going to make you a fucking millionaire. But you guys overcomplicate this shit. Like, it's 1 to 3 good clients gets you to 6 figures a year. Like Amir, we did this recently with a guy, hit $14,000 a month, did it with one client. Most people that we get to 10,000 a month did it with 1 to 3 clients. Like, you guys overcomplicate this shit. How many students are currently in the lair? So we've had around 325 people go through it. Right now, there's 80 something that are actively in the program. Any advice to recover from editing burnout? Burnout is less about how much you work, it's about the balance between your work and recovery. So nobody ever burnt out from working too much. They burnt out from not recovering enough from the work that they did. Because think about the last time you were burnt out. Likelihood is your sleep was terrible, you weren't having enough water, or you weren't eating properly, like you were eating like crap. If you fixed those things, you'll find your work capacity goes up. So if you feel like you're burning out, bring it back to the basics. I call it the happiness ROI. It's the few things that have the highest return on investment for your happiness. So I do the smallest amount of effort and I get the most happiness, meaning I burn out. Burnout is no longer a problem. That is, make sure you're sleeping, make sure you're eating clean, make sure you're having enough water, make sure you're exercising, and make sure you're socializing. These are the basic needs of a human. If one of these things are out of whack and you feel like you're burnt out from working too much, you're not burnt out, you're living like a subhuman. Because if you haven't got these 5 things, that's more likely the issue. Now, the reason I bring this up is it's a very nice reminder for when you feel like you're burnt out, because you can just look at this list, and I used to have it written on my wall. You look at this list and ask yourself, do I have all these 5 things? If you have all these 5 things and you still feel like it, maybe you're burnt out. But if you're missing one of them, you're not burnt out, you're just living like a subhuman and go fix that. So that's how I've been getting around burnout. I've burnt out like once or twice, and it's always been because I didn't focus on these 5 things for a long enough period and still worked, and then it crashed. But the way to get out of it is you just focus on those 5 things again. What's the niche of the 14K per month editor? Actually, I have no fucking idea. Let me find it. I know he edits for Swiss clients, so he's not actually editing English clients. Let's see, boys. Go through this together. Oh, that is my screen. How do I make my camera smaller? There we go. Cool. So, this is Hako, by the way. You guys saw him in chat, likely. Hako. Let's find Amir. Cool. So, this is Amir. Um, Amir, when he joined, I believe he was at like 1K a month. The problem was he wasn't getting clients consistently enough or at a high enough price for him to actually scale. So this jump was from 1.5 to 5K. So what you'll realize, like this is what I mean by 5 to 10K a month is 1 to 3 clients. You guys overcomplicate this shit. It was one decision that took him to 5K a month. People think that, oh, it's going to take me a long time to scale. Oh, I want to hit 3K a month first, then 4K a month. Then by the end of the year, I want to hit 5K a month. Scaling doesn't take time. It's just a decision. It's a fucking decision to scale. Like the reason we get such fast results is we don't believe that it takes time to scale. It takes a decision. So in one decision, we took Amir from 1.5 to 5K a month, and then the next jump was to 14K a month, and this was all through one job. So it was under an agency. It was a Swiss client, and he's sitting between 10 to 14K a month now. So yeah, it's like with one client. So the thing is, like you can make all the money you want from like 1 to 3 clients. That's all it takes. It's just that you have to get the pricing right and actually close the client. But like, don't overcomplicate this shit. Make this bigger again. There we go. What do you think of the e-commerce niche? Every niche makes money. How do you know which editing styles fit the video or moment? You copy, copy, copy. References are your best friend as an editor. You want to look at the person's channel and look at the recent videos. If that's the style they want, you literally copy the style and the pacing and the timings. If they reference a different video or different style, you go find videos in that style and you literally copy animations but for the context of your video. For example, let's say there's an animation, let's say like a Minecraft video. There's a Minecraft video, there's an animation that you're taking reference from, which is like a spear. Imagine there's a mod. There's like a spear that 3D comes up, and the person wants it in that style. I would literally try to recreate that animation pixel by pixel, but the only difference is instead of a spear, it's the thing that I want. Instead of a spear, they wanted a rock in this context. You just copy compositions, copy design, copy colors, copy frames, because if the wheel's already been invented, why would you try to reinvent it? So when it comes to getting the right style for any niche, find references and copy the fuck out of them. Because the funny part is, when you copy, you're naturally going to have differences. Because no two editors can physically make the same thing unless they have the same project file. So even when you try to copy someone, you're going to naturally make it a bit different, which is exactly what you want. So I just try to copy directly, and kind of naturally happens from there. To what age do you think it's possible to sustain YouTube editing? What do we do afterwards? I don't think it's to do with age, man. Like I know, like we had a 15-year-old go through the editing lab program. He hit 10K a month. We had a 32-year-old recently go through the program. He hit 10K a month, well, 12K a month. We've had, I think Amir's 22. I might be wrong. He's hit 14K a month. Omar, I believe, is 21. I may be wrong. Hit 10K a month. Carter hit 10.9K a month. I think he's just turned 18. He just finished school as well. Like he hit his first 10K a month while in school. So yeah, man, it doesn't have to do with age. Can we edit at 50s? We have a guy, his name is Jeff. Jeff and Mary, they joined the program together. So they were in the traditional film industry, realized it's going down, and they joined the program. I believe they're doing around 8K a month now. They're in their 40s. Yeah, it doesn't have to do with your age. If someone's genuinely broke right now but willing to put in the work, would you ever consider partial payment where they pay the rest later once they're in a better financial position? I mean, the editing layer, truthfully, I wouldn't join it if it puts you in a financially stressed situation. Like most people, honestly, like a lot of the people that join, it's like they put their life on the line. Like it's their last 1, 2, 3, 4K. They put it in, and they make it pay off because they have to fucking make it pay off. Truthfully, if you're like, dude, I don't have like $500 to my name, $1,000 to your name, don't join the layer. Like the reason being, first of all, we don't have a package that's that small, but second of all, it's like, dude, just stack up some cash so you can invest in yourself. Like I'm all for like being an entrepreneur, but if you have to work a normal job to like stack up some cash just to invest in yourself, that's totally fine. Like I think people demonize normal jobs, and I used to as well. But the thing is, if you're broke, like fucking get a normal job because you talk about it like it's below you. But the thing is, if you're making near zero or you're making like $500 a month, $1,000 a month, it's not above you. Like objectively, you will make more by having a normal job, and just edit on the side. And once it's surpassed, then you transition over. Like there's no shame in that. How much does it cost to join the editing layer? It's currently $4,000 to join. We can split that up by up to 4 payments. Just got the golden outreach system. Hey, Vakasala. Welcome, bro. Let me see the notification. Have you gotten access for it? You should get access automatically for the golden outreach system. For anyone that doesn't know, the golden outreach system is something we provide for people where who here is at a stage, like, you know what, we'll just do a little poll. Like the editing layer is $4,000 right now. Like I said, we split it up into 4 payments. But like who here is realistically at a stage where it like $1,000 investment would actually fuck them? Like genuinely, like if you paid $1,000, like you either don't have it because you don't have the clients, or like if you paid $1,000, it would fuck you so hard where you couldn't eat. Who here is at that stage? And there's no shame because I actually want to help you. Like one, if you're kind of at that stage where you need the clients. Type 1, if you're kind of at the stage where like realistically, even if you wanted to join the editing layer, you kind of couldn't because you don't have like much cash on you, which is totally fine. And someone mentioned like they'd rather put it in savings and invest it. That's totally fine. Like if you'd rather get like a 5% return every year, like you spend $1,000 and you make $50 after a year, which is like 10 cents a day. If that's a worthwhile investment for you, go for it. If you want to put in savings and invest. But I mean, like for the guys that are saying they would rather have help with editing, like, but you aren't at a stage where you have the money to invest in a program or mentorship, like type 1. Like you do want to get help with getting clients, but you don't have the money to get help with getting clients. Like you don't have the 1, 2, 3, 4,000. Oh yeah, I'm seeing a few guys typing 1. What is it that you guys like? What is it that you guys would want in order for you to get the best help possible? Like to get you out of that situation, to get you to a point where like you are a lot more financially secure, etc. Like so that you can spend like however much you want, whether it be on a program to go further, whether it be on your own stuff. Like what is the core problem you guys need to solve? Just so I understand. Like type it in chat. Is it clients? Is it raising prices? Is it getting responses? Is it finding the people to reach out to? Is it more of an accountability thing? Like what's actually stopping you from making the money you want? I can provide the work in terms of editing, so you're good at editing, but I'm clueless when it comes to the professional side of things. So getting clients. Okay, how can I make money? So the client side, the accountability. So every client I got, you lost them in a week. You'd be surprised. Oftentimes, if you lose a client, it's less because you fucked it up. It's more because they were just a bad client who doesn't know how to manage an editor. So by working with better clients, you'll often find your income is more consistent, not because of you, but because of the nature of the client. For example, let's say I get this all the time. Oh, is it my fault that the video did bad? An editor will do as much as he could for the video, the video gets like 100 views, and he asks me, is it his fault? The thing is, if he did that same level of editing for a channel that had 5 million subscribers, he'd probably get 1 million views. Most of the work I do gets millions of views. Is it because I'm the world's best editor? No. Because if I'm posting it on a channel with 20 million subscribers, it's normal to get 10 million views. So realize that in the same way where it's more dependent on the channel for how many views you get, it's also more dependent on the client for how consistent the work is. So being able to get more clients actually solves that too. Like, what is it? Just for anyone that missed the question, like, what is the core problem that's holding you back from making more as an editor? Mhm. For you, it's your accent. I mean, here's the thing: like, you're going to be closing these people over text, so your accent has nothing to do with it. I mean, could you close people over calls? Yes. But if you feel like you don't have an advantage there, why not just close them over text? In fact, 99% of the clients that I've ever had in my career were over text. And that's over 2K a video. Been editing for 2 years, never outreach. How do I start? I think you guys would find this useful. We have something. It's not the main editing lab program. For anyone who's like, okay, I want to get like accountability. I want to get help. I want to be able to like work with me like Malice one-on-one or Sayeef one-on-one. Then it's a thing where the editing layer's a good fit for you. Maybe you've got like $1,000 to $4,000 where you're like, hey, I want to invest this so I can double, triple, quadruple my income. I know it'll pay off. I'm ready to invest. That's where the editing layer's for you. If you're not at that stage and you feel like getting clients would solve that for you, what I'd recommend is we actually have something. It's called the golden outreach system for you guys, where what we've done is we've taken just like the fast cash playbook from the editing layer. So the same $4,000 editing layer program, we've taken one of the client systems and provided that at a lot lower per price. Thought you guys might find that useful. Let me actually find it for you guys because we don't like publicly offer it because I'm noticing you guys are struggling with this inside the stream. I mean, I don't mind putting it out here. Like, we don't publicly like show this off or anything because truthfully, like, it's a stupid price. Like, if you guys go on this link, I just sent it in chat. Essentially, what that is, it's our golden outreach system. It's the same system that you would get inside the editing layer. Now, truthfully, it doesn't come with the actual editing side. It doesn't come with the coaching calls. But what it is it's the fast track client system that we use in the editing layer. So let's say someone's like, hey, I'm in the editing layer. I need to get clients as quickly as possible. That's when we're like, okay, you're going to run this specific outreach system because that's what we've seen. When you put a certain amount in, you get a certain amount out. Things like inbounds, they're super difficult. Where it's like, yes, you can do the things that you need to do for inbounds, but it's not like you can scale up inbounds. You can't scale up word of mouth. But what you can scale up and just decide to get more of is outreach. Let's say today you sent 30 outreach and you knew you had a 10% close rate. You know that you would get 3 replies out the other end. But inbounds doesn't work the same way. It's not like you can post five times more posts and you know you'll get a client out the other end. It might take 3 weeks, 6 weeks before a client comes through. So outreach is genuinely the best way to get clients as a video editor because you can actually just do the inputs it takes. Like, you can choose to do more. So whenever you need a client, you just increase your inputs. If you're fine, you don't need as many clients, you can send less. As an Indian guy, how can I get US clients? Don't tell people you're Indian and do the same outreach and inbound methods that any other editor would do. Like, for context, we have editors even inside the editing layer that are from India. Puneet is one of them, and there was another guy. What was his name? Harsh. Puneet and Harsh. We also had another guy, his Parnay, I think is how you pronounce it. 3 guys, they're from India. They're crushing it with the editing layer program. The thing is, them being from India has no difference in how our systems work because we're doing it completely over text. We're doing it in a way where country doesn't change anything, and we're teaching them the sales and the marketing side to actually get clients. Because here's the thing, if you knew exactly where to find the clients you need that you'd actually enjoy working with, you knew what to say to them to reach out, you also knew how to negotiate to get the prices you want and actually close them, is there really any reason that you wouldn't be able to get the clients you want? So like it's $197. It's the same client system that we give inside the editing layer. Like if you guys want to see this. So it's literally, it's this exact system that you're going to get. It's the same client system that we give inside the editing layer, including how to find people, so the exact methods, and we show how to automate each stage as well. So how to create automations to use each of these methods. Of course, the foundations, because without the foundations, nothing works. The actual messaging methods to do it and how to pick the right one for you. And also the closing framework so that you can actually get people to pay. Because if someone promises you work but doesn't actually pay, who cares? Because you didn't actually make any money. My main thing here is I just want to get you clients as quickly as possible. The reason we have the golden outreach system, I mean, it's $197. It doesn't do anything for me. It's literally just so that you can make more money so you can join the layer eventually. The editing layer is $4,000. That's where we really help people scale to 5, 10K a month. But if you're at a stage where you're under sort of like 2, 3K a month, you just need to get your first clients in and cash is an issue, I would recommend get the golden outreach system. It's editingoutreach.com. It's the same system that you're seeing right here. It's just provided to you at a lot lower of a price. I know someone mentioned it in here. Let me find it. Yeah, so like Vakasala, you mentioned that you bought it last weekend. You're going through all the lessons. Sad, you're mentioning Golden Outreach system was doing wonders for me. Totally recommend it. I mean, yeah, dude. Like the Golden Outreach system works. We know it does. It's 4K and what's the duration? So the main editing layer program is $4,000 for 90 days. So it's a 90-day process. You keep access to the course, but for the coaching side, it's 90 days. What we recommend if you're at a stage where it's like, dude, I can't fork out 4K. I know it's worth it, but I just physically don't have it. That's when we recommend the golden outreach system. So that's the one that I've just put in chat now. It's this one essentially. What this one is it's essentially the same client system that we give for the guys in the editing layer, but we recommend it for people outside the layer if they just need to get their first couple clients in. So if you're at a stage where it's like, dude, I can't fork out 4K even if the mentorship is worth it, that's when we're like, dude, just get your first couple clients in on your own using our system that we've already proven and updated. And then once you have the clients you need, jump into the layer and then we'll help you scale further. Also, it comes with the whole like layer AI thing. So let's say you have any problem, you can ask it here. It's trained on over 4 million data points. Every course, every program, every one-on-one call, every Q&A I've ever done in my life, it's all trained on here. So any question you have, you'll be able to actually get it solved here. So yeah. Let's see what questions you guys have. Feel free to put questions in chat. We'll get them answered. Hey Malice, you made a video of smooth editing and it was a banger that helped many editors, but now you're not making any such video. Why? Because what you'll realize is once you're decent enough at editing, like why would you keep focusing on that if you don't have clients? Like the thing is you need clients to actually improve. So yeah, I mean, just ethically, it makes more sense for me to help you get clients because the fastest way you're going to improve is by editing real client videos. So that's why we just recommend people like, dude, learn to get some clients. And then once you have the client, then you can learn how to actually improve and learn all the effects, etc. I'll put it in chat here. It's too expensive for me and I'm broke. Can I work for you and pay? I mean, it's $197, dude. Like I physically can't make it any cheaper. You know what I mean? Because the thing is, if we gave it out for free, it's like everyone's going to run the system. Like we had to put some barrier to it just because, first of all, it's a thing where if too many people have it, it's not going to work. But second of all, it just serves as a way for us to know like you're actually committed to running this. Because even if it's free, like if it's free and I gave it to everyone, you're just not going to want to run it. So it means that people are committed, meaning that let's say they run the system, I know they're actually going to run it because they've paid for something. People pay attention to what they pay for. So you paid for it, keeps you accountable that you actually run the system, but also it means that not too many people are using it. So that's how we've made it. How do you recommend someone who wants to start finding clients and has zero to spend get a job? I mean, if that's what it takes, but like truthfully, most people have like $197 on them. Like, look at your phone. Your phone's probably more than $197. Your shoes are probably $100. Your laptop or PC, probably more than $197. So the thing is, like, let's say, you can save to buy a better PC. You can spend $500, $1,000, $2,000. But the thing is, a better PC doesn't get you more clients. Does it make more sense to get a better PC to edit for clients that don't exist? Or does it make sense to get the clients you need, make the money with this current one, so you can get whatever PC you want in the future? So, yeah, I mean, it's just, at the end of the day, it's down to priorities. Like, how important to you is getting the clients you need to actually scale your career and make the amount you want? What questions do you guys have about the golden outreach system, like the thing that I just showed you? Because essentially what it is it's the same outreach system that we give inside the editing layer. So it consists of 4 parts. Well, 5. The first part is the foundations. So we're going to teach you, like, what does a successful outreach campaign actually look like? What does it look like for you to do outreach properly? When you have these foundations, everything else works better. And the thing is, if you're missing the foundations, it's sort of like a building. If you don't have the foundations, it doesn't matter how tall you try to build, it's always going to come back down until you get the foundations in place. So we teach you how to outreach at first principles. The best part is about the foundations. When you get the foundations right, you can actually solve the rest on your own. In fact, we're going to teach you how we came up with our outreach systems and how we get them to work, so that, let's say in 3 months from now, 6 months from now, 12 months from now, a year, like 2 years from now, 3 years from now, when things naturally stop working, because they will, you know how to actually find methods that work again. That way you'll never be at the spot you're at, like right now, where you're struggling with clients. So we'll teach you the foundations. The second thing that we cover in the golden outreach system is we'll show you the lead generation methods, meaning how do you get a stranger and turn him into a lead? How do you find the good people to actually outreach to? If you can only find 5 people a day to reach out to, you're never going to be able to send more than 5 messages. And if it takes you 5, 10, 15 minutes to find good people, of course it's going to be difficult. Just one of our methods, the YouTube scraping one, we find over 500 leads, qualified leads with at least 10,000 subscribers within about 5 to 10 minutes. 500 people. We have other methods as well, but that's one that we've recently came up with and it works really well. But ultimately, we need to make sure that you have the lead generation methods, and that's what that covers. Then we give you the outreach messaging methods. This is how do you actually get them to reply. So we'll say, teach you exactly what to send, depending on your level of experience. Let's say you're super advanced. We're going to show you how to structure your messages to position yourself as a professional to get replies. Let's say you don't have as much work. Let's say you don't have a strong portfolio. You might not even have the re-edits yet. That's when we're going to show you how do you position yourself in a way where you're still attractive to that client. Because that way, I mean, every editor who has clients now didn't have clients at one point. So clearly there's a way for them to get clients even when they're new. We're going to show you how to do that. So that's the outreach messaging. Next, we're going to give you the last part, which is the closing methods. Because we close mostly over text, all of the closing methods are based within text. Meaning, if it doesn't matter if you're from India, it doesn't matter if you're from Bangladesh, the UK, Australia, Zimbabwe, anywhere in Africa, like, it doesn't matter. We've had editors crush it with our outreach methods because it's over text. Because as long as you can communicate clearly, which we're going to show you how to do, you have the sales skills to actually close them, and you just follow our process. Like, it doesn't matter what accent you have because they're never going to hear it. And when it does come to calls, if it does come to call, we have the call training in order to actually handle those interviews or sales calls as they come up. So that's the next thing we cover. And then finally, we have the actual case studies. This is where I've shown you examples of me actually running our outreach process, the one you're about to run, so that you can actually see what it's like when it's running. I've had people, Romy is an example of this. He was jumping sometimes to 0 a month, where he would lose his clients and gain some and then lose it all again. The first day, he had a client conversation because he was outreaching. All he did was look at the case study where I showed him one of my client conversations, and he realized that it was a very similar situation to what he was in. The guy told him what he wanted. he didn't know how to give the price. He copied how I said the price and he closed the client because of that. So the reason I give case studies anywhere from sort of lower end of a couple $100 a video, so there's like $500 a video, all the way to the more expensive ones like 700, 950, 1,000, 2,000 plus per video. I've shown you what the conversations look like so you can model and see what a successful outreach looks like. When you have all 5 steps, you have the foundations for outreach. You can get leads. So I've shown you how to find people, shown you how to message them to get replies, shown you how to have the sales skills to actually get them to say yes to your prices. And I've shown you how to price as well. And finally, you have case studies so you can model literally how I'm doing it. There's zero reason for why you shouldn't be able to get clients. In fact, literally, there's a refund guarantee, meaning if you don't get a client and you haven't paid it off after a month, literally just message me. I'll give you a full refund because it's like, it's not worth my reputation for you to go through one of my programs, not get a result, and you fucking hate me now. So if it doesn't work after a month, we have a full refund behind it. The reason we offer this at such a stupidly low price, which think about it like this, $197 to never have to worry about outreach again or never have to worry about getting clients again. It's a no-brainer. Because if all this did was get you one client, let's say the client, let's say you're charging $100 a video, so like basically nothing. I mean, we'll show you how to charge like 2, 3, 4, 500 plus, but like let's say you're charging $100 a video. The guy's sending you one video a week. That's $400 just from one client at a super low rate. So if all this did was get you one client and it pays it back, and we know with confidence that this reliably gets people even their first client at 200, 300, but it's the same one that the more advanced guys also use to charge thousands. Like we've structured the offer in such a stupidly simple way. Bro, your videos, especially the 54 outreach methods, is already gold. That helped me sign a client like after 11 DMs. Yeah. I mean, those methods are sort of like what's covered inside the golden outreach system. So it's a couple of the methods that we cover in there. The main thing is we need to get all the methods in place. So if you watch the 54 outreach methods, it's a similar process to that. It's just a lot more detailed and structured. Best platform to outreach. If you go through this, you'll see exactly what's covered, but essentially with the golden outreach system, and you'll see it there, we give you all the methods that are actually being used by editors within the main program, the $4,000 one, but also how to find your own methods. So what you'll realize is any platform works for outreach, but if you're using any platform incorrectly, it's not going to work. So that's why we always recommend, like, first to use the platforms we have already proven. If you want more clients after that, which you usually won't need, but if you want to experiment with your own platforms, here's the foundations. So at least you can learn how to make your own outreach methods. Like, we've covered everything. I maybe have the limiting belief that unless my videos make a huge views, I can't increase prices. I'd love to charge 500, but I don't know if I can ask for that. We have a guy, his name's Matter. Let me find him. Matter, when he joined, I believe he was making nothing. Let's find him. Yeah. So Matter, when he joined, never had a client in his life. He'd been editing for 2.5 years, never had a client, which is, I think he wouldn't mind me saying this, like kind of embarrassing. His first client, let's do just posts. So Matter never had a client, so obviously doesn't get many views because he's never had a client to do it for. Followed our process, quit his 9 to 5 within the next month. His first client that we ever got him, he followed the outreach protocol. Within a month, he got his first client. It was a 1 million subscriber client. $500 per video, weekly videos. Now here's the thing, like, would that have happened if he had to have a ton of views in order for him to get clients and be able to charge more? Of course not. Because the thing is, if you have the belief that, oh, I need to be able to get a ton of views. I mean, dude, I've edited videos with like 400 views and I've charged over $1,000 for them. $197 is 18,000 RS, which is more than 2 months' salary. Right, and you can keep saying that, or you can earn more. Because the funny part is, if you earn 4K a month, let's even 1K a month, you're also earning it in dollars. So the conversion thing happens the other way around too. I mean, the fact that you feel like it's a lot in your currency makes it an even bigger reason you need to actually get clients as quickly as possible in the UK or US markets. Because for someone in the UK or the US, when they get like a $300-400 client, for them it's simple. You know what I mean? Like, it's normal. But for someone where it means a lot more in their currency, it's even better because now that $300-400 client, literally like a month worth of how much someone would normally make, but they've done it in a day or two. What about taxes? Should people legitimize their editing business right from the start? Legally, I can't answer that question, but I'll say what my perspective is. You get motion before you get legal, man. Like, I see people making like even nothing or like $500 a month or $1,000 a month worrying about taxes. It's like, fucking taxes on what? Like, dude, between me and you guys, hypothetically, like I was up past like 10K a month when I first started filing taxes. So it's like, yeah. I mean, you're already doing it. The thing is, it's sort of like saying, oh, how will I deal with the pains of recovering from the gym? And you haven't even got a gym membership yet. Like, dude, you're worrying about problems in the wrong order. You're worrying about paying taxes and legitimizing the business when you don't even have consistent clients that pay you enough. Bro, I found a song on Pixabay, but it's copyrighted. I need that song so badly. What should I do? I have Epidemic, but I could not find any song like that. Um, if you can find videos where similar songs are being used, and then essentially there's a way to use Shazam on the songs. You can't use Shazam directly. Oftentimes, you have to like extract the audio, split the stems so that you have the music and the vocals. Then Shazam the music. Then you keep doing that until you find a creator who uses Epidemic. Then once you found one creator that uses Epidemic with the songs you like, it's a bloody goldmine. You just keep using that channel and you keep finding more similar songs from that song. So that's how I find music as quickly as possible. I literally just copy it from another channel and then find suggested music from there. I have a question. How do you change niche? Like, I'm doing gaming, video edits, to more personal brands, to fitness coaches, something similar. How do I start from zero again? Why would you want to start from zero? Like, if you're getting clients, why in the world would you start from zero? Like, you use those clients to get more clients. If you want to switch a certain niche, just outreach to people in that niche. But you wouldn't start from zero. That's silly. It's like saying, oh, I've been going to the gym doing this workout split. Like, I've been doing upper body, lower body, like that certain split. I want to start doing the Arnold split, like a different workout routine. Should I stop going to the gym for 3 months so I can lose my progress from the other split and then start working out with this one just so I can start from zero? No, that'd be silly. Why would you wait to lose your results and then start again? So when it comes to switching niche, why would you start from zero, dude? Cool for hard. Good man on jumping in the golden outreach system, man. Glad to have you with us. I saw the message on school as well. How many hours do you work daily? It depends. Like, I think I've gone to a stage now where it's like I enjoy work. So sometimes it'll be like 2-3 hours a day if I'm working less. Sometimes it'll be like 6 to 10. Depends. Like, for example, like when I'm traveling, it'll probably be like a 3 to 4 hour work day because I like work in the plane or work in the hotel, whatever. Um, if I'm more like I've got my office, all of that good stuff, I can go like 12-hour days. Cool, boys. Do you have any other questions that you guys want covered before we jump off? I've got 3 minutes left. Can I get a foot to start if I want to get at least one client to buy the outreach package? I mean, if you just need a client, that's what it's for. Like that golden outreach system isn't built for you to get to like 4, 5, 6, 10K a month. Like it's not built for that. It's literally just built. Get your first few clients in that are consistent. Figure out the client side so that you can scale after. But to get your first few clients, that's what the golden outreach system is for. Nope, someone else just joined. Let me see who that was. I got the ping. Oops, two people joined. Azam, welcome in, my G. Do you do community meetups in the lair? If you go onto YouTube, you can see what the community meetups look like. So essentially, because I travel quite a bit, I'm in different countries. Sometimes I'll literally just be like, "Yo, I'm in this country, come through." Um, we had that recently where like I was in London, we were doing a student interview, where basically we got a guy quite recently to 10K a month. So I was like, "Fuck it, like let's do a student interview." So we booked out like this really nice Airbnb, like it's basically like a villa type of thing. I just told the lair guys like, "Hey, I'm paying for it anyways. Let's do a little mastermind." Um, it didn't cost them anything because they've already paid for the lair. Let me show you what it looks like. I keep forgetting how to use OBS. I'm like trying to share my screen differently. So essentially, the way it works is like this. So like essentially, it'll be like an in-person event where we have the guys from the lair. Because these guys have already gone through the program, they're typically already earning, so they're able to just travel whenever. They all work remotely. They've all got the laptops that they want because they had the clients that they needed. So we just tell them like, hey, if you want, let's just jump through into a in-person event and sort of just help them with more advanced topics one-on-one. For example, like here, a lot of people were struggling with like more complex scenes. They wanted breakdowns. So yeah, we just broke it down. Everyone had their work with them as well. For anyone that didn't have a laptop, we just told them like use someone else's like to show the work. And we just like broke down each other's work in person. It was a nice vibe. But yes, in terms of in-person events, like we have them. I don't recommend people to join just for the in-person events because the main thing is let's get you the clients first so you can actually afford to travel, afford to do all the things you want to do. And then whenever we host an event and you want to come through, my G. Malice, I'm currently at 500 a month. My dream is to charge 500 for a video. So what area should I focus on? If you're already making 500 a month, your editing's probably already good enough. The thing is, because of how little you're making, I'm assuming the type of creator you're working with doesn't give you the opportunities to create banger work. The thing is, to charge $500 a video, it's less about having a hard client. It's more about having proof that you can do good videos, like on your portfolio. For example, like a video that, let's say I'm charging, like for reaction videos, there's a client 1,350 per video. It's reaction videos. 2 years ago, I used to do the same videos for $200. The videos look the exact same, but one is $200, one is 1,350. Not because the video looks different, but because my portfolio looks different, meaning they're willing to pay more. So if you don't have good client opportunities, you can't get that good work, meaning you can't attract those bigger clients. So you're in this savage cycle where you don't have good clients, meaning you don't create good work, meaning you don't have good work to get good clients, and it's just a mess. The thing is for you, there's two ways you can solve it. Either you make the current videos you're doing a lot better, meaning like you need to make the current videos look like $500 videos, or you can get clients where their videos just look better on the portfolio. Just think about it like this. Let's say you have the same level of editing on two videos. One which is some random stream of VODs where the guy hasn't even prepared properly for the video versus like a proper YouTube production. You could have the same level of editing on both. Which one makes you look more valuable? The one with proper production. So just by working with better clients, your work actually looks better because of the footage that it's on. Not because you're a better editor, but because of the frame which we've placed your editing in. Because you're working on better footage from better clients, your work looks better. So you've got two things. You can either make your current videos better, the ones that you're making only 500 a month from, or you can actually get better clients who give you the opportunities to make your videos look better. Cool, boys. I gotta jump off now. It's 45 past. I will see you in the next one. How did you guys find the stream? By helping out so many people with the editing, aren't you concerned it will create too much competition with your students? Dude, it's a $250 billion industry. Fucking $250 billion. Do you know how much money that is? The YouTuber and creator industry is $250 billion. Like if we get, like even if we have like, let's say 500 people making 10,000 a month, that's what, 5 million? That's 5 million a month. 5 million times by 12, what is that? Like 60 million? That's 60 million a year. Divided by 250 billion. Dude, that's 0.24 fucking percent, dude. Like, it's nothing. Like, it's nothing. Actually, no, sorry. 0.024%. That's if 500 people are making 10K a month for the program. Like, it's a $250 billion industry. There's so much fucking money with creators. Like, if you can't make this is why fundamentally I believe, like, if you're not making money with editing, it's not because creators aren't paying, because every year there's $250 billion being moved around. So if you can't take a few thousand off that, is it because of the industry or is it because of you? You know what I mean? I say this to the guys in the lair. Whenever someone says like, "Oh, I'm struggling to make, I'm at $500 a month. How do I get to 2K a month?" I don't think it's gonna scale. It's like, dude. So you're telling me over 300 people have gone through the program and scaled past 5K, and you're telling me you don't think there's enough money in this industry to make 2K a month? Come fucking on, dude. Good boys. I'm gonna jump off now. Raf Smoke, you made 3.7K last month. Good man. WRAF. But yeah, dude. We'll jump off, boys. Adios. Appreciate you boys tuning in to the stream.